Kita nonton ini lagi ya. Berlin lagi, PRX versus SMB. Ini gua emang agak terlambat lagi ya. Cuman ya Allah, kok gini ya guys ya. Sabar, kita reload dulu nih. Kok 360p sih, hah? Oke, 1080. Oke, sabar ya, gue ganti. Ini pindahin dulu nih sini nih. Jadi kelihatan nih duit player ya. Nah, oke. PRX, let's go PRX. Wah. Sepuluh lima nggak tuh? Hai, halo Cerieli. Welcome. Sabar nih. Nah, come on, PRX. Jangan sampai ke eliminasi lah. PRX, dude. Oke, seharusnya dapat ya round ini ya. 2 versus 4. 2v4. SMB saving nih. Ada OP sih, easy ya. Di saving mereka cok. Bunuh lah, easy lah. Gak ada thumbnailnya, ada kok. Ada kan? Ada kok nggak salah. No. Ada kan seharusnya. Ini ada nih. Oh iya dong, nggak ada dong thumbnailnya. Bodoh. Sorry guys. Nah, what the fuck? Oke, udah ya. Thank you Cereli udah ngingetin. Nah. Kok nggak ada thumbnailnya tadi ya? Sekarang udah kan ya? Masih nggak ada sih? Hah? Kok masih nggak ada sih? Oh, udah ada kok. Yalah, ntar juga ada paling. Oke. PRX udah dapat plannya di sini ya. For second nih, bro. Wih, turun di smoke gitu nembaknya, weh. Dapat nih for second nih. Wih. What? Omen yang bodoh. What the fuck? Bengkai Davai. Waduh. Musuhnya tidak sadar ada dari ceiling di sini. Ngelag gitu ya tanya. Oh iya. Iya. Ya udahlah. Udahlah, bodo amat lah. Oke. Ini OP-nya hilang ya? OP musuhnya udah gak ada ya? Wow. Kok gini? Hey. Loading, berani-beraninya loading. Ini kayaknya wifi gue yang lagi kayak ini. Oke, SMB di sini sebagian Eco, ada yang beli Vandal, ada yang beli Spectre. Woi, mereka nge-push silongnya loh. Berdua, Cok. Oke, SMB. Mas SMB berempat loh di B loh. Di C. Dianya cuma satu nih. Oh, perfect banget. PRX nge-push A di sini. Langsung dapat plannya. Mantap, mantap, Bung. Ayo, Bung. Nah. Oh. Oh, Bengkai udah siap-siap ini recon ya. Woi. Oke, udah Foy. Oke, for second. Ini ya. Terlalu nge-push. Oh, main freak. Musuhnya nggak tahu main freak ada di belakang. Oh, dapat satu, Bung. Let's go. Last heaven di sini, Bung. Mati nih sama Davai. That's what I'm talking about, PRX. Ya kali kayak eliminasi PRX ini nggak mau kan? Lu nggak mau kan PRX? Ayolah, nyampe final. Ayo dong. Wah, mantap sih Davai. Gua kaget pas mau matiin HP ada notif dari lu baru aja ya Wildan. Tidur aja Wildan. Aduh. Nah, sampai nggak jadi tidur gitu loh nontonin gua. Ya Allah, ini apa ini loading? Hah? Oh my god, SMB timeout nggak? Wah, keren banget cowok lantainya cowok. Gua nggak bisa berhenti ngeliatnya tuh enak gitu. Nggak bisa berhenti bilang keren gitu. Soalnya emang keren. Bang, YouTube lagi error, thumbnail jadi error semua live tuh. Oh, emang gitu, Mak. Pantesan. Pantesan gua nggak bisa ini thumbnail. Oke, thank you infonya. Book. Wah, sedang merenung ya gimana taktiknya, bagaimana nih SMB ya. Oke. Kembali. Force buy ya. Di sini SMB kalau kalah otomatis 10-10 sih kalau kalah SMB di round ini ya. Soalnya next roundnya pasti equal lagi SMB ya. Anjay, gue udah kayak analitik halo. Aduh, ada OP lagi. Si Easy Gaming, cok. For second udah ulti, kalian mati semua, bro. Nggak tahu mainnya. Dapet. Wih, oke, nice try. For second. Dapat satu udah bagus. Shiba hampir dapat 3 orang gitu. Di lockdown lagi, cok. Wih. Oke. Come on. Itu, cok. Oh, nice. Let's go. Sorry, gue teriak-teriak, cok. Wih, nice. Otomatis 10-10 sih. SMB pasti Iko. Wah, nice banget sih, Mbak. Let's go. Auto 10-10. Oke. Let's go. A-nya dapat nih. Wih, A-nya majuin aja, Bang. Majuin aja, Bang. A-nya, Bang. Kosong, Bang. Mereka nggak tahu ya. Wih, sumpah itu wah, dapet dong. Wah, dapat senjata, hati-hati, Shiba. Dia dapat senjata, Shiba. Wah, Shiba udah mati sih. Shiba! Shiba! Wow, sorry, dude. Sorry gue teriak-teriak ya. Nice banget sih, Mbak. Nice. Wow. Easy, oke. Okay. Low. Low nggak tuh, Paura? Woi, keding loh, bengkai. Udah nggak ada waktu. Nice. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Apa ini buram-buram gini ya? 720p. Tapi ya gue juga live streamnya 720p sih. Udah. Oke. Okay. Wah, easy langsung OP lagi, Cok. Ini kalau menang lagi PRX di sini, menang sih. Kalau ini menang, wah, easy bro. Come on, come on. C-nya satu orang. Oke. Okay. Ini PRX seharusnya udah tahu banyak orang dia. Sih. Ih, 4 second udah masuk loh. Mereka, wah. Oke, di trade, nice. Waduh. Waduh. Wow, nice try, nice try, nice try. Masih bisa, masih bisa. Wah, si Turko ada race lagi, Cok. Oke. Itu 30 detik dong. Oh iya, 4 second dapat A-nya nih. Iya, oke. Nice. Woi, Cok. Wah, ya udah pasti di revive sih. Oke, oke, oke. Ayo. For second, come on. Nice. 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 4 second. Ace. Nice. Nice banget 4K nggak tuh? 4 second with the 4K. Ini sih 4 second bener-bener berguna banget nih. Ngebunuh omennya guys. Wah GG. Oke, kalau ini menang, udah sih menang berarti PRX. Kalau SMB kalah round ini, udah pasti menang PRX sih. Come on. Oke, time out. PRX yang time out ya? Oh iya. Jason Susanto. Sebelas. 4 second udah OP nih bro. Udah pakai OP bro. Kita lihat. Ritme di SD jam 10. Hah maksudnya? Oh di shutdown jam 10. Hah jam 10? Sejam lagi dong. Aduh salah cok. Malah Discord. What? Rhythm jam 10. Oh my god. Sad bro. Sad banget cok. Ya elah YouTube kenapa sih YouTube? Hah? Kayak why gitu. Waduh. Wih. Waduh. My freak. Wah, nice try. Masih bisa. Aku lagi nungguin lesson from ya Allah Rhythm. Kenapa sih YouTube, hah? Mau ditonjok? Cok, sedih banget. Ini dengerin lagu dari mana lagi, bro? Groovy mati, Rhythm mati dong. Udah gila. Masih bisa sih ini sih. Ayo. Time out. Aduh, cok, si Easy ini nih, dia OP-nya jago juga, cok. Ih. Easy mati menang sih ya. Oke, mereka balik lagi. Nice. Oke. Bisa ini. Oh! Jangan. Oh, nice. Wah, easy nih, jago banget openya. Ngobong. Oke, dapat ini. Time out. Nice. Nice bait. Woi. Nih itu iya kan, si Bang ngebait ininya kan. Bener kan, Wan, ha? Ya gak? Wah, Jason mantap sekali Jason. Bang Jason. Wow. Absolutely gifted. Oke, time out. Debate kamera. Iya sih. Sama sofanya sih. Jadi kan sofanya loncat-loncat nggak mati, ditembak sama temennya. Si Easy ininya kan fokusnya ke Shiba ya. Padahal di site masih ada orang. Hah, langsung mati kau. Oke. Kita lihat setnya ya. This set is so cringe. What? PRX Pog. Wih, mantap nih, bro. Let's go PRX. Oke. Iya sih. PRX readnya tuh mantap sekali nih. Wah. Nice. Woo. That's my man. Man. PRX. Come on. Dapat lah map 1 lah. Ini mapnya siapa sih yang ngambil Heaven? Gua nggak nonton dari awal, so. Gua nggak nonton entry pas masuk ke stage. Aduh. Gue terlambat mulu deh. Technical pause. Wah, gila lantainya. Aduh, tapi turnamen LAN Valorant tuh belum ada penonton aslinya, Cok. Belum ada orang yang nonton live gitu. Dari Rap, kenapa Kak Bebel? Terlambat mencintai. What the fuck, Nep. Kau nah si Nep lagi set kah, Nep? Sini DC, oke. Kita nobar kah? Matiin dulu coy ininya coy. Gimana sih? Nah. What's up, my man? Hello. Oke. Let's go PRX. Oh emang iya?
Iya.
Cuman oh my god, iya dong. Iya.
Saya mau tadi bingung.
Cuman suara aku doang ya?
Iya.
Ya udah dah. Bang Jason. Dari tadi nggak ada suara Twitch.
Si Jason kayak ngantuk banget gak sih?
Iya sih. Makanya Capek banget.
Uh,
Ini comeback nih PRX. Tadi 5-10.
Waduh.
Ini Pojen kemana nih?
Guys, hard carry kah win?
Bang Pojen kemana nih?
Gak tau, diem dari tadi.
Jelas lu Pojen.
And that's the key point. PRX have stepped up to the plate in a way I wasn't even anticipating.
Bang itu siapa cewek? Temen gua.
Sosial.
My friend.
Okay, how can we then work around their adjustments? How can we still utilize him in that fashion, but be aware of it? Can we use him as just that information post? If he gets contact, if he doesn't get contact, if he can take that space. I know taking space is a bit of a meme, but
Let's go.
But that's the worst thing though with a map one like this to see people
Mental
walking
nggak
across the
aman
pushing the team,
SMB.
and then you
Aduh ini
stretch and be 30,
banyak orang Indo
12
juga ya
down on
nonton.
map one, and these guys are still having the time. I'll be honest, Supermassive Blaze.
Oh,
They look a little active. There's no smiles. There's nobody's talking to each other right now.
yeah, and again for SMB, the region, the
Bukan,
Turkish
goblok.
fans, they have backed their teams, they really support
Bukan
their
pacar
teams, they
gua.
support them hard. I mean,
Sorry
they are full
gua
favourites, these
agak
guys. They
kasar.
do so well. They will back them
Tapi ntar ada yang
constantly.
marah
There's
kalau
pressure on these guys. Pressure to do
bilang
well. You wanna
pacar
represent
gua
your
bukan
region.
padahal
One of
cowok.
the kind of, I guess, lesser told parts of this event is that you do want to represent your region and do the best you can for the fans who tune in at all hours, any day of the week. They are supporting you. So for them, this is still a
Wih,
tough
mulai
game. It
lagi
ain't over yet.
akhirnya.
12-13, we jump right back in. PRX on the verge though, after a perfectly read round.
Ya aku belum loh.
Delay.
You're
Ini refresh webnya.
Clarity well invested to at least slow.
Repi kasar. Sorry dude kebiasaan.
They're gonna try and
Kebiasaan.
Belum loh.
no alarm.
Ah, udah
Kebiasaan.
barusan.
Sorry kebiasaan.
Oh, it just pops ahead of the
Wow, 12-13. Keren.
Oh,
Brave had it all in front of him. How did Mindfreak win that? I have no idea. But it's a 4v3 and the spike will be planted on the C site.
4v3 ya.
Very close by towards CT, but that jet is still a fair way off.
Udah
Easy
dap.
slowly working
Wah,
his way
menang sih ini
back.
sih.
Take a second.
Menang sih ini sih.
Time will have dwindled by then.
They found another one.
And untradeable too. Oh no, Izzy and Turco, what can you do with this? It's all on you two now to make something happen. Turco looking above that smoke.
Whoa.
Catches Benkai off guard. Great start. Has to be quick on this though. It cannot take too long.
3v2.
Turco now clears towards long. It's
Ooh.
on site, Shiba right
Oh,
let's go.
Let's go.
Map one in
Menang kah? Menang kah?
fashionable style.
Comeback.
Impressed with how they played that.
They brought their
Iya.
A game
Wih, kayaknya
today.
mending
Again, we
refresh
saw a
dulu deh.
taster of potentially what some of these guys
Kau
can
nontonnya di mana?
Tetap sama
individually, but this
aja
right
di
here was an
YouTube.
absolute
Oh, aku di
masterpiece. Some of these rounds
Twitch.
from PRX. And again, to have that read on exactly what Supermassive Blaze were doing.
Jangan toxic, please. Contoh saya nggak pernah marah, nggak pernah toxic. Iya deh, Nap.
Gila.
Iya deh, Nap. Iya deh, Nap.
Aku liat di Twitch deh. Benar.
Siap, Nap. Siap. Yang nggak pernah toxic ya. Ya,
And that's a big
ya
concern.
saya sangat percaya kok, Nap.
Yes.
Coming now into
Bohong.
Naruto and, with
Kata aja bohong, Nap. Aduh,
at least on the desk
gimana?
here, you have an opportunity to look at some of these rounds, but I'm a little worried now coming into map 2 again.
Ada Attila.
quality of the data sample, the team actually that lead into the 7-2 record in recent times on Breeze. I'm a little worried, Lauren.
I'm with you. I'm on the worried boat as well. Breeze is going to be that next choice, and it is PRX's choice anyway. And everything that has been shown here, I am beyond impressed with PRX and a little worried. I
Let's
think, as you
go.
said, for SMB.
Yang korbannya, Mang.
No, it is.
Korban toxic. Tila, kenapa kamu kesini?
Some of these
Aduh.
are absolutely killer as well. Just heartbreaking.
Sudah lah, Nep.
I think the last couple of rounds though.
Orang-orang pasti udah tahu lah. Kalau kamu tuh pasti nggak mungkin nggak toxic, Nep. Dari cara kamu tulis jangan toxic, please. Contoh saya nggak pernah marah, nggak pernah toxic aja itu udah sangat membuktikan. Kau tuh toxic banget.
I gotta say, from that first series, again, there was something I saw that I was very impressed with. But now coming across to this, to step up to the plate and repeat that, but also improve on it on another level, has been so good to watch so far. I'm excited for map 2, as well as being very scared for EMEA as a region.
Why did you say that? Why
Because
did you bring it up?
because
Why did you bring
Mitch
it up?
somewhere is crying backstage about the very same prospect.
He's gonna mess up his mascara.
Iya pli, saya tahu
again.
pli, iya kan.
Black Street.
You know
Don't
joke,
There
iya
is
iya,
a
tahu
lack of
tahu nep, tahu
environmental
nep, tahu
load,
nep.
so, you know, at
Iya
least
nep,
then
iya
he'll
nep.
have the support to it. I'm
I know
worried.
joke, I know joke.
If this is map
Jok
1
motor
choice
kah?
and it got made to look like that,
It's a
I've
joke
gotta say,
motor atau
credit
apa tuh?
to PRX for coming out and
Absolutely,
having
yeah.
an incredible game plan and addressing
Nggak
all the issues
bercanda
I
nap.
had. I thought they might have been a little
Saya tahu
one-dimensional.
joke
I thought they
nap.
leaned a little too
Joke,
heavily on Forsaken and Benkai,
just
but
kidding,
actually,
iya.
they came out and
Oke
looked
nep,
stellar.
oke.
Enough from us. We want to get ourselves ready for map 2. I'm sure the players and everyone else does as well. So we're going to wrap this one up. Make sure we find that start button to get map 2 ready, and we'll see you after the break.
What the fuck? Ah, YouTube lagi rusak. Wow. Aduh.
I'm back.
Nunggu 10 menit lagi deh ini paling.
Iya.
Map kedua. Let's go PRX, jangan sampai tereliminasi. Hai, halo Kasukina, Eksukina, Kabebel.
Wajan kirim feed TikTok tapi nggak ngomong.
Nggak jelas Wajan. 3 menit.
Jan.
Nah. Nunggu 3 menit deh. Kita lihat ini dulu ya. Berat skate. Woi, pusing kali.
Ini Sentinel lawan G2 lagi ya?
Iya. Nggak tahu kenapa.
Wah,
Saya tidak ngerti bang. Wih, kalau PRX menang nih masuk playoff. Wih, masuk quarter final kayaknya deh.
keren.
Keren banget sih.
Yoi.
Enggak deh. Masuk decider match dulu, baru lawan Ace. Bisa lawan Ace, menang baru quarter final. Oh, oke. Sabar ngambil minum dulu dah.
Dadah.
to a fantastic start for PRX. They take map 1 over Supermassive Blaze. I am Yingsu and I'm back on the desk with Kakuka and Sean. A hard-fought victory, but I feel like a deserved one for PRX.
Yeah, the Paper Boys were delivering.
Yeah.
Let's go. But it was actually a nail-biting game, right? And it took until overtime, in my opinion, for PRX to realize they didn't need to do these mid-round aggressions because SMB, they only had one initiator, right? They had that Sova on Russ. And I think playing as passive as they did on attack side, I just don't think you can do that with an initiator because it kind of funnels you into
I'm
one
back.
choke point when you use that drone. And they had the C stack ready in OT. Man,
Plitar
what
ke
a
rumah, aku
game
bawa
from
ke lele,
PRX.
Pli.
It
Pengen
looks
coba.
so good.
Oke.
Both teams wanted to
Oke,
be
ntar
passive,
dibawa.
but as you were saying, when you don't have the means to get the information through abilities, you gotta gather it yourself. But if you're too scared because they're also playing passive, they were just doing what SMB were doing on their attack, and it worked so well.
And I'm not going to lie, if you take the name tags off of the teams and players, PRX, it felt like, and from where we're sitting, they looked like a European team, Kakuga. We've seen European teams play like this.
I feel like this comes from the fact that they've been practicing here, they've been seeing how we play in this region, and experience proves the point.
Yeah, and it's a game like this that really lets me know PRX is here to stay. They're a legit team, right? This is a game Forsaken was kind of like
Sama LPD, ya, Nep.
He was 5-9 on
Kalau mau
opening
coba,
duels.
coba
It
aja.
wasn't his
Coba
best
ntar.
performance in my eyes. But the other
Sans.
players all stepped up massively, opening duels for the rest of the 4 of them, 10-2. Like, we were wondering where these guys were, you know, in their opening matchup. Well, they saved it for today.
And speaking of those players stepping up, Sean Devai had a very, very good game today.
He did. He was on the sky, and he was just pop flashing through smokes like you see on your screen. And I actually really want to give a shout to his Seekers. His Seekers won several rounds. And round 23, they had such a cool fake where they went into the A site by using the Seekers over by, you know, the grass middle area of Haven. And it just didn't work that round, but I loved his utility usage in this game.
I feel like it was yesterday we were seeing Munchin and Fisker, and now we are seeing Devai and Forsaken as that duo. And it's not the Jet that's, you know, dashing and just getting the kills. It's
What?
most like the Sky. So lovely to see that.
Do you feel like maybe SMB going for that Haven pick was a bit of a
Oh, it was a
mistake?
Kok casternya grogi
big
sih?
risk, and they knew it. They knew it
Kenapa?
completely.
Yeah, I agree.
Ngomongnya ini
I mean,
apa
I
sih,
thought
gagap?
SMB needed to keep things simple, and their playstyle
Cek
did.
gitu,
But I think
Tadi.
opening up Haven in a game against PRX, you know, just a map that's so spread out and allows all these aggressive plays to be made, I think they should have gone with one of the more open maps where they can aim and focus on mid-gaming. I mean, I know Ascent was taken out of the pool, but honestly, like, Breeze might be a better choice for them, which is what PRX picked next.
Well, that was a hell of a map, and Bala is standing by to give you guys some post-map analysis.
Well, you guys already did a whole of that, so let's go ahead and do a little bit more, right? Because you guys are talking about the ebb and flow, about how to play passive, how to play aggressive. So I got 2 rounds to show you the differences between both, and also I got the receipts on how prepared both sides are in this matchup. So let's take stock of the first round. We've got everybody grouped up A lobby, just 1 turret from the SMB side watching the flank, so they clearly want to set up and go long the entire time. So let's go ahead and roll it. What else is happening for PRX? They're on C site locking it down with Cypher, and we have Devai actually moving back over here because of the noise that's coming in from A long. So go ahead and pause it right here. One thing that we saw in the previous game for PRX against Vision Strikers was their collapse on this A long side when they heard noise, so they have a trigger. I think SMB was prepped for that and trying to actually get them to do that. Let's watch how it actually unfolds, because it's exactly that. They bring Izzy over though, and this is how they adjust, right? This round right here shows it. So normally the idea, pause it real quick, is to, as soon as you hear a trigger, as soon as you hear something on the other side, we obviously can't see it from Forsaken's POV, but maybe it's a drone, maybe it's a, you know, a breach flash coming through or anything like that. We're gonna send our own flash and collapse into it. We saw that in the Vision Strikers game, and we see it here again, but this time, go ahead and play. It does not work out at all, because they're ready for that, and look at that. Before the trigger comes, Izzy is coming around the corner. Before that flash is there, yes, they try to follow it up, but Brave is playing
Si
anti-flash, so
Devai,
again, Izzy is going to come with his operator and try to clear this corner before they start.
OP-nya ngeri banget ya.
Easy jago ya.
Brave on the corner. He's playing anti-flash to avoid that specific flash so he can get
Izzy nama kucingku dulu loh.
What?
again, an example of prep.
Iya
What else do you
serius.
do, right? Normally you want a drone in front of this because you expect, an opera to hang out in heaven. You might have an off angle played and like in this angle or something like that, but you don't ever know when that's going to
Flame
come. So
bagus lah.
in this case, they know the playstyle of PRX, they know the playstyle of PRX is going to be trying to make these trap plays work. So here's another round of them trying to make sure that garage is clear and also trying to trigger divide a flash through, trying to make sure that they collapse and actually spring the traps that PRX has. So that's multiple things. Go ahead and roll the map. That's multiple things thrown into this garage. They're trying to, get these flashes for him so that they can maybe collapse like that. But no, they're not actually doing that. So what does that leave? Pause it real quick. What does that leave
Masih map
PRX to
satu
think,
kan?
right? They already had a lot of information
Apa?
down on A. They
Masih map
also
satu kan?
had just some
Iya.
information here in the garage after they had thrown all of this. There was a nanoswarm thrown, a
Ini
smoke
map
thrown, so
pilihan
they flashed
siapa?
through, realized there's nothing in
Nggak
the
tahu
garage,
aku
and
juga.
with the time left in the round, they're like,
Oke.
oh, okay, well, they must be coming this way. So they
Nggak
sent
lihat dari
everything
awal
back,
aku.
and because they didn't actually spring the traps, look what
Okay.
happens. It's a team A's completely gorgeous round from PRX. Go ahead and roll it, and we'll watch all the different POVs as they play out. It's a nice attempt at an execute, but with too little time. Up at the top of the screen, 25 seconds left. There's so many ults, so many smokes, so much utility still left because they just did not bite on their garage take. They did not bite when SMB was trying to get that utility out from them. And because of that, over and over and over, you have PRX springing at the last second rather than early in the round. And Sean, you were talking about how they had to stop that aggression down sewers. I think this type of passive play from PRX worked out really well because of SMB's attempts to play into their play style.
Thank you very much for that breakdown, Bala. And yeah, Sean, what did you make of that? I think he had a question there for you.
Yeah, he had the perfect clips to describe what I was talking about because he showed the last round of regulation that PRX played on their defensive side, and the same exact thing happened in OT, right? Where they just played really passive and they read out the C pop coming in from SMB. And yeah, when SMB is hitting the C site because they have no map control, because they're running the single initiator comp, they're just running into a stack. 3-4 players from PRX, both of those rounds were at C.
And it's also where do you go from there? Because if you want to keep being aggressive, but you know that they have not used their utility, you cannot be sure that that is going to be a good option.
Well, we're moving on to map 2 here, Breeze. Now, this is SMB's, pardon my...
Oh, tadi
I'm
map
at PRX's,
nya SMB.
pick
Oke.
here.
Sekarang
Now, they won the
PRX
first
Breeze
map,
milihnya
now
wadah,
SMB, they
oke.
have to play on the map that they're not usually that comfortable with. Kukuda,
Ah,
do you
map
think
jelek.
this is concerning for them?
Tapi kayaknya
Serius
PRX
anjir.
jago kayaknya di sini.
Semoga ya menang deh.
In that case, Turco should go on Sky and Brave back on the controller. It is concerning because they've only played it once against Footballist, and they didn't even know how to attack the map, to be honest.
Yeah, and on a map where PRX is picking this, they're very comfortable on it, clearly. And Forsaken has no footage that SMB has looked at. We looked at that clip that Bala just broke down. The way Izzy peeked into that corner, that's a preparation peek. They're not going to have that here on Breeze. So this is going to be Forsaken's playground if he wants to make it.
But Sean, you also made that point that you feel like this would actually suit SMB better. Now, why is that?
I just think because as a pack, Breeze is such an interesting map because there's so many different lanes. There's B main, elbow, there's mid, which leads to nest and doors. There's halls and A main. There's 6 entrances and there's only 5 players on your team. That means you end up getting.
Siapa menang, Bang? Map 1 menang PRX. Ini sekarang map kedua, map Breeze.
Really, really well. That's where they shine when they can get those fights.
Welcome si in Tokyo ya.
Do you think that today they were accomplishing that they were getting the duels
Siap-siap
and
nih ya.
winning them?
Map
Because
Breeze.
sometimes I
Oh,
felt like the
ini
Tracer
pilihan
were on point
Breeze
or
juga,
weren't even
pilihan
there.
PRX. Harusnya PRX
In the first 4 rounds, they
lebih
looked really
bisa ya
sketchy,
di
and
sini.
then at that point they settled things back and played really passively. And when the fights came to them,
Breeze tuh
they
ini ya,
looked great.
playgroundnya
But
Forsaken
they
kayaknya
didn't
deh.
have the cohesion to
Oh, iya.
create those good fights on their executes
Semoga
and on
menang
their
ya
defensive
PRX lah
side,
ya.
and that's where they struggled. I think those fights are easier to find on Breeze.
Well, we are heading into the Prime Gaming Agent Select now, and of course, it says 100%. Oh, okay. Well, Brave is picking up the Viper, and Ben Kai has moved over to the Killjoy. Now, it says 100% because they've only ever played this map once, and Kakuka, they're changing things up.
Yeah, they're changing things up. Literally, what I wanted from them: Brave on the controller, Russ on the Sova, Pora on Cypher, something that I honestly love. And my question is Turco going to go for Sage? Because I don't feel like that is a really valuable pick here. Personally, I would go for the Sky. I think that they need it. They did not have the means to find that information. We were saying on Haven, but they
Gua
did
numpang
here.
ya bang,
Very much
oke.
Turco for that pick.
Numpang apa nih by the way?
Yeah, and I like the
Tapi
concept of
numpang
both
ya
these.
udahlah
The
numpang.
double
Oke
initiator
oke.
with Sova and Sky is just so valuable on a map like Breeze, where you're going to see Viper walls all over the place, right? The Sova recons can
nggak pakai
free
Sage
kills
ya
through the wall,
dulunya.
and the Sky flash. Everyone that plays this game knows that you can flash through those Viper
Emang
walls
lebih
and
ke
just get
Sky
free
ya,
frags
Breeze
for
ya.
days in the current meta.
Well, SMB, they are staring down the barrel of elimination, but Pansy and Hypox, they can bring it back on Breeze.
Well, I'm a bit worried if I'm seeing Breeze at this point. Some teams are leaving it in, they're floating it, but not many.
Numpang nonton. Oh iya.
We've heard rumours
Ya
Breeze
silahkan,
is being
silahkan
avoided
numpang
like the
nonton.
plague in
Yeah.
scrims. So
Yeah.
actually, Kakuka makes a fantastic point. PaperX potentially coming here and
Buset,
adjusting
for
on the
second
fly
langsung
for what they've learned. Their
serip
experiences
di
from
sini ya
playing
guys ya.
teams outside their pool. Supermassive Blaze have now
Serem.
been put on red alert,
Seram.
right? And we talk about actually that one occasion we saw Breeze online.
It was.
Have they had the opportunity to learn
Teker
anything
dulu.
yet? Bringing this now.
Well, that's the big question, isn't it? How much have you been able to adjust, adapt, maybe play out the compositions that Kakuka was discussing, and maybe some slightly adjusted roles here and there? For now, we have to wait and see. Supermassive Blaze on the defending side, of course PaperX on the attacking side, but they are a map to the good for PaperX, doing very well.
Kena lagi tuh drone. Udah. Gak usah ngapa-ngapain itu easy.
But the site is theirs, and
Kasian banget tanya dibully.
Udah kena flash, kena drone 2 kali.
Brave found a killer
Kasian bet.
response though, taking the full Shiba
Wow
now
wow
as he
wow
goes
wow,
upgrade
Shiba
to
Shiba
Sheriff.
Shiba.
Turco will find ahead. Ryan Benkai now called upon the last two standing. Try and recover this here.
Anjir, kalah sih kayaknya roundnya.
especially with that shot coming in, pushing Benkai even further back,
Iya.
but still to divide, they should be able to start making
Kalah anjir.
Round pertama, round pertama.
Wih,
nggak kena. Wih.
Nice try, nggak apa-apa, ente.
But good work from SMB, good retake on the site. I'd say a little over
Round
on the
pertama,
site itself,
pistol round,
but I mean,
pistol
it's
round.
just maybe that first round.
A little bit, yeah, but Izzy is forced out right side on default, all the way to the back behind the Viper, and he's actually tagged by the Aldrin twice.
Yep.
So that's the reason he's shut down so effectively. And actually on the back of, I think Devi's initial flash on the back side of the Viper actually catches him there. So he's literally in no man's land. He's then revealed, so an easy kill. So actually credit to SMB to stabilize there, at least get a better grip. I'm not even sure where Brave found that initial
Marshall.
kill, but that seemed to be the green light on that retake at least to now. PaperX actually going to drift into mid this time around. A couple of sheriffs and a marshal invested here.
Wih, itu kena terus smoke. Terus smoke.
Noting it.
Wallbang.
Just going for that Vandal nice and quick, and look, the range on that thing is
Mati.
gonna make you feel good.
Ooh.
Until then, Forsaken just drags him down to the Shadow Realm. We've got the, look, Marshals we already know are super deadly.
Buset,
Shiva
buset.
puts his life on the line to try and get that rifle back, and he's lost it. Oof, that could have been something. Benkai now
Wah,
lost
nice
alive,
try.
and he's dealt with.
Okay, okay.
Luckily, Braves gonna be able to get
Nice
that.
try,
It's
nice
gonna be just
try.
fine. Keep that rifle in play. 2 rounds on the board, 4 alive, and the rifle didn't get
I mean,
lost.
you're almost right, that bit. Run into spawn, throw it out of the map.
Sopanya langsung beli vandal dong.
But,
Iya.
won't become an
Biar
issue.
GG.
Got to purchase back into this Devi actually one away from
Lima
Seeker, so lean
amat.
towards shop, which is looking like early on.
Woi,
You might
tapi
just see an all-out
PRX juga
apex.
dikasih.
Looking like the
rifle
the
semua.
lead at least is that direction. Benkai gonna pick up the
Oh
slack.
iya dong.
Mid,
Dikasih
try and
tuh.
lurk behind. Look towards Brave and Pora potentially to be caught out there. This orb is the initial objective for PaperX.
Oke. Udah bak. Aku bingung.
May have been heard to an extent. Certainly utility noted. Izzy now in
Anjir.
What?
one on the way out. He's got a perfect
Jago
read.
banget,
What
coy.
is that?
He's just gonna try and keep himself
AWP-nya
away from
jago,
those
anjir.
Seekers for a second.
Wow,
Brave
wow,
maybe
wow, wow,
catches
wow.
Crosshair. Turco's on the site as well. Brave does
Serius
Gila.
dah jago banget
Jago banget.
AWP-nya.
perfect trade
Oke,
to be able to
Davai.
buy.
3v3 Nobar. Aduh. Oke. 2v2.
Divide is putting in heavy lifting here.
Benkai finally coming through double doors.
Kaget itu samanya.
Rush down to 27 HP. Gotta be careful on stairs here.
Kaget lihat
Finally in position to
Wolf.
back him up.
He has to let Benkai work here. Benkai needs to
Yeah,
be a little bit more
Benkai harus
proactive and
dapat
mind-minded
ini.
in this one because look at the HP on Divide.
They're waiting for a flash here. I think they're
Wait,
waiting for the flash.
this actually could be so good.
Right now.
Oh!
What a terrible surprise for us, Benkai. Perfect timing, and this is still doable. Pora, yeah, he may only have expected.
Ah!
That's a great shot.
Oh.
Coming in for Pora, and
Nice
he'll be
try.
happy with that one and
Oh
converting
my
the bonus.
god.
Yeah, fantastic.
Ente sih,
Again,
ente
Divine.
banget.
Worst
Nice try,
way
nice
to be
try.
gold so far this series.
Ah.
Trying to literally drive Paper X into A site. Again, Seekers come through. There's not an awful lot garnered on the back of it. It's at this point, I think actually maybe 10 seconds off beat from where we'd expect them to find this entry.
Ini Benkai ya.
He comes through here. That's
Aduh.
exactly what they were waiting for, Lawrence. So they had to freeze.
Yep.
And actually, you know, fair play to at least, you know, be proactive and Russ trying to take the
I'm
initiative
out.
to come across and find that information to see exactly what's going on. We saw Pora hop into his spy cam, which is still over on B site, so they were considering the possibility that something else was happening.
We have a timeout quite early on. Not sure what's going on. See what they're up to. All quiet. The coach seems to be having a fair chat, so looks like they're going to be trying to talk through maybe their upcoming rounds. Quite an early timeout to be coming in with, so interesting to see that happening. Maybe going to deny that momentum building, just keep that away from them, get an early read on something they can identify, so very early timeout.
I think we look at the positives, or at least the big win conditions for Paper X, at least those first 3 rounds. Not exactly synonymous of what happened on Haven. Again, it's not as if we've really seen Forsaken be in a position to find it. It's been Divide really dragging Paper X forwards with him. With another round here, 2 marshals, a couple of sheriffs invested, see if, I mean, what can they achieve here, if anything.
We'll see
SMB's, I guess, ability to deal with this anti-eco.
I also want
Bisa
to
di
try and
wallbang nggak
explore
sih
this
kalau
round,
kayak gitu?
see if there's a
Nggak
vulnerability
bisa
they
deh
can
kayaknya.
confirm or something they've noted
Mampus
and
banget.
Nggak expect dia itu. Udah di depan.
It's a weapon upgrade as well.
That's a rifle now lost. Now if they filter that back through
Nice,
somehow,
langsung dapat
maybe-
rifle ya.
I mean, Benkai
Benkai.
can keep it. He's on 45 HP, sure, but
Ini nih jetnya jago banget aja pakai AWP.
Iya.
rotations. If you can isolate the players on towards A, you can really
Parah.
punish.
Easy,
We'll see
easy.
if this becomes a bit of a reality here. I'm a bit worried in this round, but there's yet to be much come from it at this point. So I wait with bated breath to see if it becomes an issue.
What's interesting to see there is the Anturko backing all the way up to double doors, and now they're thinking, actually, could Paper X have moved up behind this wall? 40 seconds left now, and it looks like Paper X are considering a rotation. They sort of stack up towards
Madness.
bottom mid here. Shiba,
Well, but look at the catch of rotation. He can just be a
Whoa.
nuisance, which sadly he can't. That could have been big information hold for that B piece.
and now I think they know exactly what's going on. Pora's drifted through tunnel now. They have all this information in mid. There's still a tripwire just inside this Viper wall.
Oh yeah.
Catch it there, Benkai.
What? What the
Almost
fuck?
escaped with his life, but Brave will find his third.
Itu tadi kenapa dah?
Gimana tuh guys?
Splash.
Ya.
The fuck?
10 seconds out.
Ya.
Wah,
So
nice
he keep it. I
try
was a little worried after
gaming.
that contact made in towards the hallway. I was kind of a bit worried that
Aduh.
maybe off the back of tunnel they could have tried to push and pull the rotations. Maybe just exploratory for these main rounds coming up, the rifle rounds on the horizon, maybe confirming some of the suspicions they had leading into this. But we'll see. Again, this is a good start so far for SMB, and they need to keep building on this now.
And to bounce back, I guess, into this map, the look we want to see from Supermassive Blaze is then being composed, right? Again, waiting for Paper X to be the ones to initiate and try and open some of these rounds up, because right now everything seems very well handled.
Well, look at that double
Okay.
stack towards the top side of four-way from
Yeah.
the team
Ooh,
and
shit.
the push towards elbow. This is interesting. Brave and Pora, this looks like they were expecting maybe that pressure through the hallway.
Bang Jason, Bang
and
Jason,
maybe
ayo
trying
Bang
to
Jason.
explore that idea and then hit that bite, which it looks like it could be
Yes.
now, but I still want to see
Capek banget gitu nggak sih tadi?
Iya loh, mukanya kayak capek banget.
Labored fighting towards middle. It does
Ya sih, Mbak.
eventually fall into the favor of Pora. Little top up on the HP. 3 players very present in mid, and they've got the 4th kind of in support. They are all over the map right now. Forsaken needs a big
Ya,
Waduh.
Nobi Forsaken.
game on, but they are at the back side of sight by Pillar.
Izzy now closer and closer. That wall will go up, but the Seekers will confirm. I think they already know.
Anjir, ini
Waduh.
yang pakai AWP ngeselin banget, coy.
Mind Freak will be noted as well. Called upon Divine Mind Freak to try and recover this in a 2v4. And the Spike in a very precarious position.
You're going to need some big boy headshots. Mind Freak's not finding him. Divine with a quick flash. Chases it down. Has to be a quick kill on the backside. Gets away with his life. And actually, bear in mind, this is now a 2v2.
Okay.
It becomes viable and possible. Divine, though, going to try and get Turbo
Anjir.
down.
Waduh.
He can't win the fight. And now Mind Freak's
Come on,
in
Bang Mind Freak.
danger. Russ on the front.
Ayo bang, bisa bang.
And that Spike still just out of reach. Clock not favorable to them right now. Eats the flash. More time being bought. 10 seconds is all he's got. Try and pick your poison. Looks like he's going to be trying to play the time. No one is peeking.
Wah.
Bisa deh ini kayaknya.
Planting, I
Nice.
love
Wah,
it.
nice
And
try.
from either
Susah
side.
itu,
SMB make it to 5.
Susah banget itu.
Huge round again, Divine.
Dua arah anjir,
Making things
nggak bisa.
interesting.
Iya.
tuh.
Almost actually coming out on top. The counter flash actually from Turco. The only thing to prevent the theatrics really on the side of Divide. Again, SMB just in position to find what's necessary, right? And this is on the back of Izzy, I think, being the only person to peek towards A. And again, the biggest indicator on this map in particular is, you know, as soon as the Viper was invested, right? What's behind it?
Kenapa nggak ult aja ya? Nggak tahu juga gua.
Pressure towards mid. He's a really, really good telltale
Bang
sign
Mind
of
Freak.
what's going to come from PRX. And is he sitting as long as he did? I think
Kayaknya nggak ada waktu juga
Ayo
sih, nggak tahu sih.
Jason.
Tinggal berapa detik ya tadi?
Jaden.
Nggak tahu dah.
Full armor too.
Ya kena. Ya.
Wah, iya. Main ayunan
Ayo.
ya. Main ayunan gitu. Udah ngedes balik lagi.
Kita pasti marah sih si ini.
Iya sih.
right, the last man
Aduh.
here.
Gimana nggak ngeselin banget ya kan?
Iya loh, balik lagi udah ngedes.
Good, and SMB will close out a Prime Gaming flawless round victory here to put 6 on the board.
Isi tai banget
And now
semua.
I'm desperate for a
Iya.
PRX answer. Something. Again, the pace change I don't think is
HP-nya
it.
jago.
They're just not finding
Anjir,
success.
bisa kayak gitu.
Balik lagi.
You want to run it and dash us? Yeah, not so much. Not so much.
Good stuff. 6 on the trot now for SMB. Now we did have quite, I don't want to say a one-sided start to the prior map, but it was, you know, some rounds really strung together for both sides, but haven't seen that response yet from PRX, and considering this is their map choice, I kind of expected a little more him.
Wih, keding.
Forsaken gets away
What?
with his life and actually does damage towards Russ. That's a crazy part. Now, that's been a trade out in the meantime.
Loh, lihat deh.
Divine and Turbo
Kenapa?
both now removed from the round.
Dua
as
orang pakai
PRX
OP.
do still have that mid
Oh
control.
iya
It's
dong,
starting to maybe
easy
consider
sama
that B
Rus.
site, but to see how it's handled on the other side of
Ya,
the
Forsaken
Big
tumbang.
pickup. I'm kind of surprised Forsaken allowed that to happen
Oke,
for
B-nya
Nobar
dapat.
as well, but the trade's good enough. That's what he wanted. At least the site's now available.
And again, a good indicator of PRX actually taking a step back there is look how late the
Ah,
Viper
di
is going to be
ulti,
invested.
mampus.
Viper's pit as well on site just to make sure they can set up comfortably. This plant down the Hunter Fury actually
Ugh.
forced Sheba off the plant initially, but no tag, no damage done. Benkai, lockdown Sheba, Hunter's Fury. So lots of tools available at PRX's disposal to convert this round.
Izzy, first brave player to step forward. No subtlety to this, spraying him wildly. There's the lockdown as well. Kind of
Di
expected this.
lockdown di Viper ult
He's got
base.
7 seconds to make something happen here. Spots out the player towards pillar. 4 seconds. Looking for the next step. Nah, has to back away, has to concede from that one. And time. It's perfect. They
Nggak ada
played that very
waktu.
well there, actually.
Yeah,
There's
nice.
just enough time to not make this viable anymore.
Yeah, potentially a little preemptive with the lockdown, but again, at this point, you're desperate to get something up on
6-0
the board.
down,
Yeah,
mate. Just
you're
pop it,
desperate to
gone.
get something up on the board. It does
Kira
remove,
poin.
I guess, something from
Ooh.
PRX that I'd be certainly looking towards
Weh.
these more structured approaches and finding
Nge-spray
a first blood
deh
and then
bengala.
kind of popping this utility in response to what goes on. But a good round nonetheless. Still got the Hunter's Fury, but The other side, actually nothing available other than Poor's neural theft for the side of Supermassive Blaze. Need another couple of those. Again, we're looking for 3 to survive, 4 to survive to actually overcome this financial advantage that Supermassive Blaze have as
6
well.
is all they get, anjay.
Si Izzy mati lah, anjir kesel aku liatnya.
Iya loh.
Look at they're paying no respect to this.
Oh, aku tahu apa yang jago tuh kayak annoying banget gak sih?
Ya gara-gara jago kan.
Iya, kayak udah kayak wallhack aja anjir.
Initially, nothing was given away in the early round.
Maybe they're depending on that teleforsaken being in middle. I don't
Woi.
know what it is, but yeah,
Oke,
absolutely.
ke trade.
The problem is they lost their player towards that B side. The rotation is so far away, they have no information on middle. So they're still worried that there's a
Dapat
player lurking
B-nya
around there. This will buy time, cost
langsung
time
ya.
on the retake now, but spike to be planted. Look at the post plants. Just 2 towards the side here, 2 sitting way deeper.
Nggak ada smoke tapi ya.
Sheba playing deep enough as well to make use of those shock darts he still has available. Forsaken going to be called upon here, but Russ actually finds Divide with some shock darts of his own to come in.
Wah,
Forsaken
nice
forward as
try.
well.
Hampir dapat 2 itu.
Sheba, yeah, this
Si
is
Forsaken,
What?
wah.
Easy? What the fuck?
Crossfires, there's no punish on these picks.
Wah,
I'm a little surprised.
itu kalau Forsaken
Wow.
nggak wave
So
bisa
well
sih kayak.
coordinated.
Bisa dapat
Everybody in
2,
place to at least hold, you know, one potential, I guess, anomaly right there, but just completely fell apart. I mean, the 2 initial peaks looked great at Forsaken.
Bisa aja kena comeback.
Bisa, tadi juga comeback.
I gotta say it, but
Map 1.
Iya.
straight away here, Supermassive Blaze actually turned this one around. And now the problem is that loss bonus is
Anjir
completely
nge-cheat
reset.
sumpah.
This round deficit doesn't play
Nge-cheat,
anything towards
nge-cheat.
PRX. They're right back down to effectively nothing after this purchase.
Just a little baffled by that, I'm not gonna lie.
Itu Elder Flame semua skinnya dah.
7-1 though.
Elder Flame itu auto aim tahu.
SMB are tearing away with
Iya,
this map and
tim SMB Elder Flame semua skinnya.
Apple a little curious now to
Emang
most of
Elder
us.
Flame itu
Izzy
the
still towards
best.
backside of Madonna.
Wah.
Mind
No
Freak
cap.
and the rest of the gang all just around the corner here. So they're now
Oh sih Izzy nggak jelas banget tuh
Shot
Izzy.
hoping for the best timing is everything and does he just get the pixel out of place?
Iya.
Mampus mati
Oh,
kan.
mampus
Wah,
mati.
It's right there.
Mampus mati lagi.
Becoming a favorite player of mine, but it's Forsaken on the side.
Forsaken lebih bagus pakai Phantom tuh.
Iya, Bang.
Waduh.
Iya.
Ya.
Wah. Iya.
Anjir, gawat.
Wow. Again, revealed.
Baru aja
The Seekers
dipuji.
coming in, not able to convert that. Again, yes, it was a prominent issue in Haven, but Forsaken just not landing the shots necessary. He's getting into the right spots, he's identifying where these players are.
Jago-jago anjir. 4K nggak tuh?
Huge round from Russ there. And now, I mean, SMB.
Tapi kayaknya ini PRX jagonya di ini ya, mungkin ya. Jagonya di defending mungkin. Ya elah,
Iya,
ya.
anjir, Elder Flame merah semua.
Iya makanya. Ya elah bisa gitu, iya loh. 4K langsung ya. Kita positive thinking aja, mungkin PRX jagonya di defending ya kan.
Tuh mukanya kayak capek banget gak sih?
Iya.
They're not kind of finding any of these conditions to sway in their favor. And even really after a few weird rounds from Supermassive Blaze where they're willing to just stack all in based on, you know, one person being noted, one piece of utility being invested, and so they're looking so comfortable in the retake that, you know, actually stars align one every 3 rounds, you're in the right place to stack, or you know, you're comfortable enough to just come and win these gunfights.
It's still just so hard. After map 1, we saw the most composed, well-established, really well-prepared team. And, you know, pushing SMB in all the ways that were, you know, maybe outliers, you know, things we were really excited by the prospect of, but unlikely to see. But now it's just like, well, no, SMB is just X times better. How do you carry
Pada duit anjir.
map 1 to map 2? Now, Izzy has a look towards middle. He knows what's coming his way now. Notes 2 in middle.
Peding anjir. Nice.
Nightmare.
Mati kau Easy.
Never look back. That's a big one.
Ambil OP-nya Bang, ambil OP-nya Bang, ayo Bang.
You can see that SMB are going on a recollection mission. They're like, we don't really want that being a possibility. Poor Zane. looking decent though. Gonna find Mind Freak. Now 3 more to locate.
Tell them everything you need to know. Shiva and Divide. We noted with the Neural Theft and Spike actually still stuck down at bottom mid with Divide. Got to do something, but can't even find one.
Wah, nice
SMB
try.
comfortable
Mati
position
sih.
after additional tap.
Aduh, iya sih.
Missed his dash, gets stunned up. Forsaken brazen with the dash forward, but I think an easy to convert kill for him.
Oh, Shiva's he's having a bad day.
A mare.
He's having a mare. Oof. You don't love to see it. 9-1. It's just a blowout of a game.
Well, again, we're in a situation, there's barely a buy in hand here.
No, it's
so
like, okay,
we're round
buy
11.
eco.
Next is you got to force.
Yep. It's a bit of a shame to see. As I said, it just feels like PRX's attack doesn't feel that dangerous yet. I haven't seen SMB
There's no
look
weight
super
behind it
pushed.
whatsoever.
Yeah, and it's surprising after what we saw on map 1. I'm left a little stunned by it. No, this doesn't look great. No,
Ini
this
ngapain
doesn't
main
look
freak?
good at all.
Eh?
Ooh, that doesn't look great to me.
Lah, kenapa?
Not just holding passive positions.
Wait.
I don't
Oh.
know if this is good.
A couple of
Oh,
people sat
kaget.
yeah,
Kirain kenapa?
They've got the lean back.
Kenapa?
Well,
Off dulu nggak?
Who'd
Oke,
have thought
thank
the
you udah
first
kesini
big
ya,
one
centek.
happened in one of our
Lah
Tokyo.
kenapa?
Thank you.
it may not be.
Lah kenapa?
Gak tahu tadi tiba-tiba kayak DC gitu player-playernya.
sorted.
Hah?
Like that. You gotta,
Tiba-tiba, diem.
no, don't.
Ulol.
Ternyata technical pause.
Yeah, tech pause. I have no idea what that
He
was.
could have been playing anti-flash. You never know.
You
In
know
these
what, it's
scenarios, he could have
true.
been just,
I've seen a couple of
anticipating
crazy
that.
retakes actually.
Yeah.
Go that way. So,
Shout out Cider.
Cider makes some mad content. Again though, so a little bit of a tech pause coming in. Yeah, take a second or
Just
two.
to really.
So we've got a
slow things down a
9-1
little
to
bit.
break down here, High Park. Okay, you
What
know
do you
what?
want
You know,
to
let me
talk
put you on the spot here.
9-1.
People always loved it when I gave this
Duh.
question. It's 9-1. How do they not lose now for PRX? They've got 1 round. What do they need to do?
They win map 3.
They win
Comeback
map
ya.
Yeah, that's how they
so
don't lose here.
fantastic.
Takut ya,
Really
Ral.
laid it out
Berarti.
for me here because being quite genuine in this, I don't know how to even start to break down the difference between map 1 and 2 here.
Comeback lah.
It feels like we're seeing a different team for both teams almost. You know, the SMB we're seeing here feels completely let loose. They have no pressure now. They have none of that lockdown abilities or kind of, you know, the man-to-man marking. And here, there's none of it.
But also, they're not putting themselves in a position to kind of abuse those rotation timings and
Dubstep ini dari mana sih?
you know,
Lupa.
throw SMB off kilter. And
Dubstep.
again, towards the particularly in that overtime round.
Di mana
credit them
PRX?
for how well they're able
Bukan,
to read
bukan,
the
bukan.
situation.
Eh,
They're not even
pernah
getting
dengar
themselves
deh.
into a position where they can
Iya.
garner this
Apa aku
information
juga.
Apa ya,
from
Noel?
nest or tunnel or
Lupa dah.
anywhere in mid. It's kind of these all in pieces, and every time it happens, Supermassive Blaze will find the opener or they'll shut down the first. Again, the fact that it's usually kind of Mind Freak that falls, you remove the utility factor. What do? They got to rely on gunfights, and I'm not seeing them win gunfights in map 2. So all of those successes they found on Haven, I don't feel as if they're able to really put themselves in a position to rely on the same thing. And again, is the appropriate solution to that, right? Okay, let's go balls to the wall. Let's start running it down. Let's start bursting out of A.
Right.
Let's throw that wall up. We'll pop flash behind it. Hope that Izzy doesn't land his shots, because again, you talk about how sustainable that is. Not great.
You don't want to be a strat, do you?
But then it's also even worse when you're staring down a 9-1 deficit, where it's like, okay, guys, well, let's hope this works for the last few, because we need a lifeline to even consider coming back in the second half.
Yeah. Now, map 3, is it?
Split.
It's split. Wow. Okay. So that's something we could definitely look at. But I'm just stunned. The Breeze has looked so shocking. Absolute, you know, from day and night. It does seem as though we're just going to be taking a couple more minutes to get this one fixed back up. So hopefully, there's no worries in regard to this. And again, if we look back at the journey to this point, the teams that they faced leading into this, they both had actually pretty hard first round games.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, Vision Strikers and Ascend, in terms of pick'ems, I'd probably lean towards them being fairly high towards the top.
Wah,
And,
sepatunya dilepas.
Iya anjir.
Wah,
Udah
I
dingin
think
aku
in
di
particular
sana.
to see
dingin
PRX
kayaknya deh
test
padahal.
Vision Strike, I don't want to see they push them to the
Kayaknya aslinya ada
absolute limit.
10
but
mungkin.
they put up a couple of rounds.
But the big thing to consider from that was seeing Vision Strikers make a notable adjustment to the way they
Dilepas
played to try and, you know,
Nggak
handle
enak ya,
PaperX. And
pakai
actually, we talked
sepatu.
about this earlier on, right?
Wow, pamer jam gitu.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Fair play.
But again, it's kind of that respect kind of part of this map veto, right? Taking Icebox away because that's where we saw that close scoreline with Vision Strikers. So to come into that almost anticipating that your opponent is going to try something funky and maybe play a little unorthodox in terms of what
What the fuck?
So
Okay.
They're still focused. They're fine.
yeah.
They'll be alright. I mean, 9-1, sometimes when you're down one, it's not really a close game. You're not making that impact. You know, you do start focusing on map 3. If this was your... Okay, well, they, you know, let's say SMB picked up map 1 and now suddenly we're 9 down, that's a different scenario.
Oh, yeah, for sure, yeah.
You have that buffer to play with. You're still okay in that regard. You will be fine going to map 3. But very surprised at this point. So, again, hopefully we'll be back sorted soon. I have got word that we might be a minute out. We will see. We'll see.
You've given a time frame on broadcast. That's daring,
I know.
to say the
I
least.
know. But look.
Aduh.
Full faith.
60 seconds.
Full faith. Can we get that watch back on the camera so I can time it? Hopefully it's a good quality watch. Can you keep time well? We'll find out.
Look at that, less than 60 seconds. Crazy, what a turnaround that was.
Damn. Hey, 9-1. Back into things. Again, so much to say about 9-1. That's when I'm going to start opening up the hashtag to people at home. That's when you know I've really hit that low point when I have to depend on you wonderful people listening here. You are my bailout. I hope you all know that. Right. 9-1 though, we kind of pick things right back up where we left off. PaperX, well, they are left without a response at most of the time. Their money has been broken. It's been few and far between in these buy rounds. And when it's been these buy rounds, they've been pretty categorically SMB looking. The flag is looking real Turkish at this point. Now, already...
For a second, it was literally half,
yeah,
half an
real
inch of
close
finding
there.
Izzy.
Oh. Carry on.
Yeah. Poor will find him nonetheless. So a 4v5 PaperX and ultimates available. Couple of light, actually only one light armor in the hands of Divide, but you got to question the utility behind this as well. I'll come back to that. Financial discussion, but Russ actually with the operator, I didn't even spot that with this purchase.
They are just
What?
Poor looking sharp now.
Yeah, Poor is,
What?
Poor is mad.
Terwantep gaming.
Not going to be messing around anymore. Finally.
Weh, loading nggak?
Finally goes down to Bang.
Weh, ngelik.
As well. Why not just put the icing on the cake?
What the fuck?
Yang pakai OP tai banget sumpah.
This is
Sumpah kok nge-lag banget Twitch-nya.
Mana saya tahu, Bang.
Ada. Wadah bang ini.
so sick.
Love that little baby scale. Like you said, yeah, Russ checks it, but Izzy's just like, I'm hopping out here, just clear underneath me, please.
Full faith.
Yeah. You see here, a guy actually better than what I was seeing, but Sheba no armor. He's got a rifle. Bladestorm available. Forsaken. Gonna hop up. We'll find nothing though. Over the top of cannon. Lockdown available as well for Benkai, but again, with the way this is going,
OP lagi.
PaperX even considering the
Annoying
possibility of
sekali.
resorting to a set play. I think they're going to continue trying to find an opening. Looks like finally they will try and pop towards pyramid. Actually, oh, is it just hopped right into that? You're not going to do any further damage to him, but
No, but he has to respect it. It's at least forced him away from the site for now. So Spike can go down. PaperX actually will get into a decent... We'll eventually get the spike down and get into a decent post-plant situation. So there is that bonus. We haven't really seen them
boleh
live post-plant until this point.
Apa?
Di turnamen boleh pakai line up nggak sih?
Boleh lah.
Oh, kirain nggak boleh anjir.
Yang nggak boleh mah glitch.
Okay, Sheba now forced out of the angle slightly. So
there you go.
you can see SMB getting a little bit closer, but there it is. Lockdown comes down. Mind Freak does find Pora. Russ is now caught as well. This is the first time we're really seeing a better look on this retake. Forsaken makes his debut, and it's not bad. It's only a 1, but it sets up the rest. Divine and Mind Freak there.
Sabar dipanggil.
Consolation, a lifeline, however you want to look at it. regardless, that scoreline not looking good at all for PRX. Have to see what, if anything, they can get done in the second half here, Lauren.
Yeah, plenty more to be seen. Oh, done 10-2. Shiba needs to get on the board as well. This has been a very rough first half.
Indeed.
Nah, udah defender nih. Kita lihat.
Killjoy enakan di B sih asli dah. Bisa di
Well, that was a bit of a
coba
rough
tuh line
first
up-nya.
half, as Pansy and Hypok said, for PRX, but a very, very good
Yah,
half, Sean.
2 menit lagi.
Yeah, I mean, everything I thought would happen on Breeze
Dari
kind of did.
tadi.
They just won all of the gunfights in mid. It's not like SMB was doing anything creative with their utility or like, you know, finding little teamwork plays to pick off the PRX players. They were just skill diffing them in a lot of these areas, especially Pora in middle. Yeah. Oh my god.
It's the Elder Flame dream for them here completely. And also we saw PRX doing a little bit of what they were doing in Haven. They do have the utility to try and do those fakes, but we saw on the other side an SMB with very slow and well-paced rotations, not taking risks when they are not needed, and very well for them. I'm actually concerned because the fact that they banned this Breeze on the first encounter and now they're pulling it out, it's maybe like, hey, this is the ace on our sleeve, and if they had to pull it out so early in the competition.
Yeah, but a promising sign for SMB is Russ is coming in hot in this game. He looks really, really good, especially in these A retakes. There was 2 of them that he won, the pistol round and the insane 4K we saw when he just destroyed everyone.
I mean,
that's
Russ,
a good thing.
yeah, sorry, Sean. I mean, Russ, yeah, he used to be the star player, you know, of Turkey.
Ini Elder Flame kayak bikin aimbot banget buat mereka nggak sih?
Iya. Itu
jago banget.
Ras Z jago banget.
But he really showed up big here.
And also, we love to see a double operator on defense. It's kind of nasty, but I mean, it's also very effective. So.
Kita masuk
On the other side of things, though,
Iya, abis ini.
he had such a good Haven game, and to see him 0-10
Aku juga udah disuruh tidur sih, cuman mager.
They need more out of their Sova.
Do you feel like they
Ingin
fell in the trap a
menonton
little bit
ini
of
dulu.
picking this map because they know SMB don't play it, so they saw it and they were like, "Oh, let's do it."
I could definitely see that because they looked a little shaky. Once SMB got on their little roll, it was very difficult for PRX to have a solution.
Well, it is a 10-2 after the first half, and it's time to jump into the second half with Pansy and Hypok to see if PRX can make that comeback or SMB can close this out.
Yeah, certainly plenty of questions, but it's a one-sided map, and I don't think we have.
Ya elah. Apa nih live aku?
Find a way back in and comfort that they didn't show.
Kenapa di aku live-nya kena tiba-tiba berhenti ya?
Iya tadi juga aku gitu.
Oh, oke.
Buset.
Anjir. Easy
Oh my god.
Bisa
lah map 3
Nanti
menang.
Kenapa ya setiap kali map pilihan itu malah
kalah.
Iya anjir. Aneh. Kayak boom, udah kayak boom aja.
Iya loh, padahal. What?
What? Kayak nge-cheat anjir si Easy.
Iya loh. Wow. What the?
What a game from him. And
he was
struggling in the last round, doing okay at keeping Forsaken tamed at times, but nice to see him let loose a little here. Eats the flash, but I mean, Device 1 HP.
Without the dream.
There is no dream. There is just Izzy and SMB make it to 11, and it's a flawless start.
Yeah, I mean, even if it even gets to the point where his Blade Storm's going to come online. Have to see what the
si Bah belum nge-kill anjir, kasihan banget.
Again at this point, I mean, throw something into
Sumpah ini si Izzy tuh kayak nge-cheat. Tuh.
Wow.
Ditungguin kayak what?
Ring the bell.
Jago.
See here. Yeah.
Oh, we can.
Frenzy.
Jagonya itu kayak nge-cheat rasanya.
Wow.
And he's still hitting better.
Shiba, ayolah. Bantu teman kamu.
Ya, kenapa live aku loading? Kenapa sih?
More than happy to take the fight. Forsaken Just about gets out of dodge, but Turco still connects so well. Forsaken has to back away on such low HP already. Look at the damage. Shiba 24, Forsaken 16. Their HP is in the bin.
Divide actually with the purchase here doesn't have that heal available either, so two very squishy targets for SMB.
Easy tai banget semua aku lihat ya. Greget.
Second one will be found. Brave will be the one to find it.
Ya
Shiba
Allah.
able to get anything done out of Nest as
Udah lah, kalah
back
ya
towards
no
arches.
hope gitu.
Benkai,
Yalah,
this is weird.
map
Ayo,
3
Ayo,
nih.
Shiba, Benkai.
Or just maybe having a
Map
casual look towards
3 nih.
Why is he there? Fair enough.
What?
Ngantuk aku.
Let's just wrap it up and get out.
Ya,
Flawless. That's 2 on the trot now as well.
buset
Again,
dah.
actually, is he an opportunity here
Oh,
to get an
Shiba.
orb or
2-12 gak tuh?
12.
dub the final round of
Anjir,
this.
parah dah udah.
I'm Team Shiba right now.
Ente.
Hey, here we go. Yeah. Poor map choice, I think, is the main takeaway here.
I think that's yeah. That's probably a very brief summary.
Yeah,
to,
real brave statements I'm
yeah.
making.
Yeah.
Hard hitting. Again, though, still a chance. Still a chance if Forsaken's going to do more of that. All right, finding Pora, and Pora's been on. He has been absolutely on one. SMB on stopping though. Brave's going to lean on forward, just oozing confidence. The double stack though towards main is going to be a bit of a weird one to handle. Brave's still going to find Defy, leaving old Forsaken kind of on his own, maybe until he gets that support, maybe from Mind Freak coming over, but Spike's going to be going down, and what a curious round we have. The post plants will be a little weird.
Indeed. Shiba will find initially some information, but Brave will find Forsaken. Shiba now. Come on, buddy. Find one. It's not going to happen. Mind Freak.
Anjir,
The last
Shiba
one to do
belum
is-
nge-kill sama sekali ya.
Iya loh.
One, no more. There
Yeah.
is SMB.
Gigi dah gak apa Gigi.
Nice try
Visually
deh.
on
Map
2.
3, map
Fired up
3.
maybe after map 1 being a bit of a disaster,
Oh
but
my god.
Shiba kasihan banget, kayak
throughout the
capek
game,
banget deh
they're
si
at
Forsaken
map
ini.
3 now. That
Forsaken atau PRX semua
And
membernya.
interesting really discussion point to come back to
Muka
the validity
muka
of
Forsaken
what
udah
that map record is coming into
capek
this.
banget, pengen tidur kayaknya.
Why do you
Like
nice to
that.
me?
I could say the very same thing to you, Lauren.
I know.
But yeah, coming to again, you've got to question the reasoning for pulling this out because it's almost a gamble.
Lah.
Right? It's a gamble pick.
Gak usah pakai Vandal Elder Flame lah, pakai auto aim banget aja buat mereka.
Sesuai nama timnya. Supermassive Blaze.
Itu Forsaken ngakak banget aja.
Kayak main ayunan gitu loh. Balik lagi.
Again, I'm in absolute agreement with Sean. Shiba was actually pretty pivotal to PRX's success on Haven there. And again, just coming into this last one, they have to pull themselves out of the bin. It's, if anything, it's the biggest positive to have is that that's out of the way. It's done. It was a quick map. Cool, forget it. We took a risk. It didn't work. We're now level in the series. It's not great to be forced to a map 3, but they unfortunately just have to go back to basics.
They'll be fine. Just clear out the mental. Take a second. We'll have the break coming up in a moment's time, so they will have ample opportunity to do so. Get their heads in the right places. Refocus up for map 3 because, as said, map 1 was so close. You can see the difference between a team that's prepared for it, their understanding of their opponents, what they need to achieve. They beat them. That's why we're going to map 3. So clearly we know it's in them. Map 2, I mean, SMB, you kind of woke up the dragon there. So I feel like we're going to be in for an absolute firecracker of a third map. So guys, do stick around. We'll be back in a moment's time after this break, and the desk will take you through everything you just saw. Kind of, I guess, lead those expectations coming into map 3, because I'd love to know their thoughts coming up on this game.
Ya, itu deh. Kita menunggu dulu ya. Berapa menit lain? Iya, matiin dong lagunya. Aduh. Oke, 3 menit. 3 minutes. Ntar copyright lagi ini lagunya. Matiin dulu ya. Kita lihat nih chatnya, pasti nggak bener chatnya, Cok. Pasti toxic gaming ya nggak sih? What the fuck? Oke, kita paling menunggu semenit. Aduh, login 21 around nih lagunya. Takut copyright lah.
Ih, gila dulu.
Udah pada keluar Discord. What the fuck? Malah tidur kali ya. Aduh. Oke, udah mulai lagi. Udah 3 menit. Oh iya, keluar aja Discord lah. Berlin Valorant Master.
This elimination match is going the distance as SMB.
Iya bang, mulai aja bang, cepetan bang.
I'm
Aduh.
back on the desk with Kakuka and Sean. A
Kukuka.
great showing from SMB,
Kakuka.
especially Kakuka, given that for the
Kakuka,
longest time
kuku.
this was their permaban.
Yeah, exactly. Now we
Let's
know
go,
why they didn't
PRX.
play nonton, but I am concerned about the fact that if they had this prepare as their big surprise, they had to use it now. I mean, obviously, if they didn't pull it today, I mean, they could have gone home.
Yeah, they looked fantastic on the map. I saw no weak links on the SMB team. They looked all very comfortable, particularly Russ, and then we mentioned him in halftime. But I thought Izzy, even though he didn't put up the monster numbers he normally does, I thought he had tons of impact at the A site, you know, just being a nuisance around the Viper wall, dashing all over the place, and even the pistol round was sick.
Another player that we have to mention, I feel, has to be Bauda. To me, he was one of the best ciphers. I think he's fallen down in that category, and then the fact that he plays so much kill you right
Buset,
now is not
Ras.
an agent that suits
KD-nya
much
4,8. What?
Also Brave, that was brilliant on the Viper.
KD-nya
I mentioned
4,8.
before the game started that I wanted to
Udah
see
gila.
him jumping on that role, and he did.
Yeah, sorry, Sean, go on.
Oh no, I was gonna say Brave on the Viper was so cool to watch because he has this wall at B
Yeah.
that he was using. He was also pairing it with Pora's tripwires over there at the B site. And then at A, when he played A, he did this sick Viper ult that went so deep into A main, it just cut off anything the attackers could do.
Any small nerf that Jack can get, like not being able to dash through the tripwires, is a victory for me.
Oke, map split nih, map ketiga.
But I do want to talk about
Split.
like I said, SMB, they played this map one time before. Russ was on the Reyna back then. How glad are you, Sean, to see him pick up the Sova that he's been running quite often?
Oh, I thought he looked so good on this map. Just the way he moved around the map and where he was. was relative to his teammates, his support, which I think is the most important thing when I look at this SMB squad, because they don't layer their strats or their tactics like a Vision Strikers does, for example. They're more about space.
Ayo bang, cepetan bang, mulai
This
bang.
angle and I'll hold that angle and I'll play counter flash. And he was doing all of this so well.
And you mentioned it, I feel Pensy did it as well. It's not like they were playing super aggressive as the SMB that we know.
Yeah.
It's just, we're just going to wait. We have this plan. This is what we're going to do. And it's a lot onto PRX because they were trying to get the initiative, but SMB wasn't doing anything crazy to break into their attack and disrupt it. They were just winning easily.
What did you think went wrong then for PRX? Because they were so confident and they had so much organization and comfort on the map before.
Maybe the aggression wasn't coming from where it was supposed to be. They wanted to be exposed. That they also tried to.
Oi, what's up, Yan?
The fact that you know that
Aduh.
your opponent is playing in a far position and you want to enter through a main entrance. You
Yeah,
know,
I do agree with what you're saying regards like the wrong timings on aggressions. The opening pistol round is a prime example of that. They got the entries, they got into the site, but the site is lost. And that happened multiple times at the A site where I feel like they're executing.
Bang,
well,
lama
they
banget,
were playing
Bang.
fine, but people
Mulai
just
aja bang,
didn't
cepetan
break
bang.
off post plant.
yeah, and I understand
Come on,
they want to play
man.
around a Viper wall, and you know that they
I want
also
to
have
see
Viper, but you need to win that
PRX.
space. You have the means to do it, and you know that you need to, especially when they are really comfortable with the space that they have.
Well, it's 1-1 in this series, but we got to talk about map 3 split. I'm kind of excited for this, Sean, because you mentioned this before the last time PRX played, because split is something that is just a little bit crazy when it comes to them.
Yeah, I don't like being a paper boy anymore.
No, you can't say that.
We talked about this. Yeah, we did talk about this on that opening day.
Okay,
but they
split.
have 9 games of split right now on their VLR, and every single one.
Halo bang, halo Bimo Raditya Putra, welcome. Siapa menang tadi? SMB yang menang. PRX tadi dibantai di Bris. Sekarang map ketiga split. Udah beli kamera webcam yang aku kasih tau. Ini udah nih. Tapi aku belinya yang 600 Yan, bukan yang 500. WB 600. Siapa menang bang? Tadi map 1 PRX, map kedua Supermassive Blaze. Sekarang map ketiga split. Waduh. Oh nice yo.
But they picked the map.
Yeah.
SMB picked the split, so they have something definitely prepared. A player that we haven't seen shining that much today is Turco, and he's great with the stage
Turco.
here. And I would love to see Power back on the Cypher.
Yeah, I mean, what do
Okay.
PRX have
Wih,
to
keren
do
banget.
on this map, Sean? Because they're
Asli.
one map away from being
Oke,
eliminated.
PRX
Also,
defender
if they
dulu.
don't win here, their chances
Aduh,
for a
kurang
direct
enak
route
kalau
to
split
champions
awalnya
becomes a
defend.
little bit complicated.
Defending.
Split will play out a lot differently.
Soalnya
than
enak
expected, which
di
is why I
split
was
tuh
worried about
defend
this.
dulu.
It's such a
Menurut
wide
gue ya.
map that SMB
Defender
can
side.
give those individual tools. Split plays more like Haven in that once you enter a site, you're in
Menurut
these
gue ya.
crossfires, you're fighting against 2 or 3 defenders because the rotates are really quick. I think this suits the PRX play style more, and I think they'll get those fights on the map.
Yeah, it's a completely different layout. I was talking about how Forsaken was.
Ya, loading nggak tuh? Loading. Oke,
You know,
udah.
the kind of those duels comparing
What
it to
the
yesterday.
hell,
I want to
mates?
see a little bit of 5K and Bunny with the Mind Freak and Forsaken this time. I want to see that composition that was missing. I want to see a different, another change coming from them.
What about on the side of SMB? Because, you know, we have seen them play this a few times. In
Wah,
PRX,
keren banget,
sometimes
sumpah
30
lantainya.
do you have a lot of faith in them here?
I do have a lot of faith. I like the way that Raz has been playing today, especially last map. But to me, is a question what he's going to be, what he's gonna go for. And I feel that also Easy was doing great on the Jet. He wasn't amazing last map, but I feel like everybody on his team was doing great. Let's see how they do, because if he goes for the race, I would like for Russ to feel as comfortable as to pick another duelist.
Yeah, and something that we should probably talk about is the fact that PRX opted to start on defense here, and I think that actually will help them. Statistically, they've been terrible on defense throughout this event, but Split is a
Bang
different
Jason.
beast, and I think it also allows some of your players like Benkai to set up his Sentinel setups and feel a lot more comfortable.
I just want to give you guys a heads up that I was looking through their compositions just now, but
sumpah
they
ini
did
Easy
run
jago banget.
one comp on Split on the side of PRX, Sean, where Forsaken played KO and Divide was on the Jet. Do you want to see that today?
I want to see them use the breach ones. I like the breach ones. Can we get a breach? That would be so cool.
Yeah, but if you have to pick 5, I mean, yeah, I see what the bridge could go, but I think I'm down for a little bit of Sky.
Cok mirip Coki. Siapa dah yang mana dah? Ada yang mirip Coki nggak tuh?
Give you something good. Yeah, give you something good. Yeah, we are into the Prime Gaming agent selection now.
Yang tadi ya mana ya? Mana nih tadi nih? Yang pakai kacamata ya? Dari ya. Ini bukan nem. Ya. Coki tiba-tiba cok. Dia main Valo ya ternyata ya.
Freak is pretty much 50. Yep, I was gonna say he's been lately leaning towards Asher a lot more, which is kind of a good sign. That means he's heading in the right direction in the meta. And Ruslock says,
Wah, Davai Jet.
Okay, this is it, you guys.
Hah?
It's going
What?
Reina with
Forsaken Reina, dude.
this is spicy.
What? Davai Jet yang bener aja.
This is crazy. This is crazy.
The looks on
Davai
these
kayaknya
dudes are
anjing.
going to feel
Cuk,
very
sumpah.
different throughout this.
Davai Jet.
Playing without an initiator, to me that's kind of scary. I understand that split bins.
Wow, oke. Ini baru ya.
Scary, not
Wow,
Very, very risky
okay.
to play any map in Valorant right now without an initiator. The Trailblazer, the drone, you know, all of these things give so much information and can create space.
Bukan Davai yang mirip Coki tuh. Siapa ya tadi ya? Nama in game-nya gua nggak tahu. Yang mirip Coki tadi. Tapi sekarang Davai pakai jet, what? Biasanya dia sage loh.
Almost polarizing maps. We had map 1 being exceedingly close. OT and as far as it
Oh,
possibly
okay.
could. Map 2 a complete
Ini berbeda nih
blowout.
Davai
Now I have
pakai
no
jet.
idea which sort of look we're going to get now.
I mean, the double duelist makes me feel as if they're going to lean pretty heavily on that aggression, particularly on the defensive side here.
Bengkai ya yang mirip ya. Oh iya dong Bengkai bener.
An indicator for that, but SMB straight up mid here on the back of the boom bot.
Yeah, super
Okay.
fast mid, and it's pretty much all in, excluding the Cypher. So Pora, yes, he's over towards that A side, but that's fine as
Waduh,
Turk has
okay.
already won the fight towards Divine, and now mid's wide open. All these rotations are now super labored and
Woi.
so far apart from each other. Forsaken is on red alert.
Nge-push
He's
A
got
lewat
there's
City.
3 players around this corner, and one
GG
closing in around
juga
the
ya.
back. He's got nowhere to hide. SMB
Gak
are
bisa
on
tuh.
it today. Now Pora can be
Ganti
the one
role
to
cok dia
rotate
bosan
the
main
front
sage
and
mulu.
keep
Iya ya.
all slots into place.
Yang mirip
But
Coki
Shiva-
Bengkai, iya Bengkai.
It's beautifully done there. That's, yeah, she was unnoted initially from the nade, but it comes through and it will be a Prime Gaming
Bosan ya dia ya.
to start
Sage
things off
tapi
here
top
and
frag
call
dia
it
biasanya.
SMB.
Aduh, jadi
Again, I'll come back to
jet
that
sekarang.
point of respect in terms of the veto. That
Okay.
right there was a zero respect pistol round straight up. Divide
Waduh.
swings out and again you got to question that in itself, but it's into 3-4 people just staring him down here. Again,
Forsaken langsung ngeflick ke belakangnya gitu loh. Langsung ngeflick ke belakang kayak wah kaget.
And again, just picking up where they left off, right? Like this is gonna be now hard for PRX to rebuild that mental game. They've just had an absolute.
Waduh, berat.
Map 2, which can happen. You know, it was a weird pick. They kind of went for something a little out there. Map 3 is not
Yeah.
going to be the same sort of story, but Izzy is making his own narrative here already. But look at this burst through it. Actually,
What?
wait, Izzy just finds him regardless. A concept considered.
Wah, flawless nggak tuh.
And now the flawless rounds are just flooding in.
see here again with the way the first 2 rounds have come out, you don't expect PRX to
Kalah
have
nyata, kalah
confidence
nyata, kalah
to
nyata.
make any sort of
Kalah nyata.
coordinated set piece here, at least in the start of the next one. It's so much damage with just that initial, but again, Russ's flash confirms.
Tuh dia dapat
there's
3 loh dari
potentially
dalam
1 or 2 more members of
apa?
PRX
Tuh di
lurking
smoke.
inside Mail.
Oke,
Clean him
cok.
up with massive ease.
Wadah.
Good opportunity here for the bonus as well. Right through. Actually, 1 Vandal on the board still from Russ, so can potentially to find a long-range engagement here, because everybody else on SMGs or Sheriff in Turco's hands.
And it's been so all in from SMB. We have 5 players leaning towards that B site. No one holding mid, no one holding that A push, just in case it is just all stick together and let's just trade it out. Be aggressive. Players a pack.
I
Buset.
think this is good, actually, anticipating people like Forsaken trying to come out, drift forwards a little bit,
Okay.
especially with Divine now on the jet as well.
Di push midnya itu.
Shiba will, I guess, note at least 2 or 3 people as they chip a hole in that wall. And look at the set piece here from PRX.
Yeah, but Poor is still here.
Okay.
He does get outdone by Divide. That's a really good counter piece, pushing in for that aggressive play towards B main. Now they're going to fall away from this because they just lost a bit of mid control, but it's garnered back by Shiba. Great work playing in.
Nice.
He does fall back towards the rafters, heaven side. Izzy trying to aggress through this. They do have Spectres. It ain't
Wow, nice
perfect,
try.
but Izzy's actually outdone Shiba now. Divide.
Oh
No, it's only a 1-1 trade. There's still danger around.
Low banget nih. Disentil mati nih. Easy.
Mindfreak on the side. Forsaken up towards heaven. Mindfreak is so blind. He's going to be taken out. And it's a 1v2. Now, bear in mind, Russ had the rifle. The spike is left in a really dire
Dapat nih sama Forsaken.
15 seconds for his follow-up flash.
Yeah. Wah, kena ding.
It's a great bit of damage on it. And the double stack towards CT. Russ, you're going to need
Oh,
something
yeah,
to
nice.
happen. Benkai, good, safe catch in the end from PRX after a dangerous round.
And again, in terms of what I want to see from PRX here, at least don't allow Supermassive plays the bonus. Don't then allow the extra round in hand, because once that deficit comes up, it's so difficult to then be the one to switch things up. And like I said, start pushing out on defense, start trying to isolate kills like Pora.
Buset dah, lihat tuh di kiri Elder Flame semua, cok.
The hole gets thrown in the wall. Again, it's 2 or 3 people noted. And
Merah semua, Elder Flame semua lagi.
The initiative. They push back into garage as 3
Sesuai nama
to
timnya
find
ya.
that 1 kill. And from there, it's just systematic. They're able to hold on to both mid and male simultaneously. Mindfreak once again going to be called upon. But SMB at least spread a little thin this time. It's not like that death ball we saw that you noted earlier.
More of a default-ish. I mean, you might want to start leaning on that if they're going to start pushing the extremities with 3 players. That's when you do have to kind of lean into those looks. Make sure you catch it and don't give away free info.
Clear DC sini sepi, oke. Sabar matiin dulu dong, cok. Sabar ya, bentar ya.
This is quite a common occurrence we saw in the opening rounds. That's a difference. Forsaken's got himself in there, at least for the 1-for-1 trade, so gets a good bit of damage done towards Izzy, but unable to
Hello.
Hello.
Yuk.
You're actually playing a little deeper this time around.
Oke.
Nothing in place to
Sabar, cok.
pull Forsaken there, but garage control actually
Jangan di-mute lagi.
on the back of
Nggak, tadi aku matiin rhythm.
still actually some utility in place as well, but Mindfreak
Mindfreak.
timing there, nearly caught off guard, but
Full info.
yeah, Shiba will fall.
Dapat nih.
And Mindfreak now.
Uy.
Oh, the angle. Tried to work his way around on the pillar, but SMB have the site now in hand. This is a problem.
Wah, udah
Bear in mind
susah.
how deep you saw Benkai and Divine holding towards A. These rotations,
Saving sih.
they're so far away. This is
Saving sih.
It's got to be at this point. Like I said, they were in such dire financial straits on map 2 that
Hari itu live-nya di mana, Flick?
again, without
Di
Divine getting the
Twitch.
blade storm
Kalau
behind
kan.
it, yes, it makes it an awkward consideration, but I think this is the right choice for PRX here. Whether or not actually they're going to try and catch anything in mid or even consider
Ya, harus saving sini
finding
sih.
some exits. Poor already looking as if he wants to go hunting, and again, can't fault him. They're in a position to do so. Here again, it's unfortunate because Forsaken tried to get on it. Actually, they're stacked up enough to where he can't even dismiss. I don't know if that was Forsaken maybe trying to double dip, which again is what you want. You've
Fine
got
line.
you've got to keep him in check.
Here we go.
Especially
Let's see.
no, it's just it's just good spacing.
Good spacing, fantastic spacing, and this is the thing that people don't understand how difficult it is to just get a clean kill and back away half the time.
Especially on Arena.
Exactly. These guys are making it so difficult to do anything. They are in lovely spaced areas, and we've said it before. We were looking at SMB on that first map, and there were a couple of issues here and there. But as individuals, I feel like the elevation in performance has been very visible here. A lot of the players have really come online, especially that last map just running through. But confidence will be at an all-time high. On the other side, we have the 2 rifles that were left over from the prior round coming in to support. That is just pistols. There's maybe a shorty, yeah, on Forsaken, but that's that. That's all you got.
Just getting actually spammed away from holding that tight angle. Izzy will actually find Shiba. Again, SMB just have such a good read on exactly where PRX are trying to position. Almost in these kind of ratty holds on the eco round at least. Well, they know it's potentially a shotgun, potentially a judge on the other side of these smokes. Again, great usage positionally and also utility to find this space once again.
And Izzy's just patrolling middle. Look at it. Device on the other side and Forsaken's down below, but it's like these are the tougher angles to clear, right? They're the harder, safe angles to clear. You still have to take a bit of a risk to go to that sort of a point. And
Boy.
Izzy tries to swing back through. And it looks like they're going to burst off the back of that. Force them away from the angle far enough. Izzy actually going to carry on forward. Spots one just down below. Sends it blind. Still finds its intended target of Mind Freak. And the sight's all theirs.
Now PRX fight. Again, 2 rifles left to consider here. Forsaken, I guess. Gonna try and find something on the back of the wall,
lagi kan cariin wall shot.
Wah, dapat.
Ya, meninggal.
Meninggal Forsaken. Ya.
Rusakin.
SMB gonna get themselves
Tinggal
another round where they survive as 5
gitu.
as well. So potential to build on the early momentum already. That one reset didn't really
Saving
account for
lagi
anything.
sih. Burungnya nyangkut.
Burungnya
There's no opportunity really for
Us Sky mains find it very difficult sometimes.
we always catch them on camera as well. That's
I
the
know.
best thing, always.
It hurts my soul.
Dicoki pakai killjoy.
PRX have just it's a blip along the road.
Cah, mati lagi.
Even worse.
Ya.
Stay alive here. Just about gets out with it. Yeah, that's fine. But still, you're clutching at straws. You're looking at the minute to try and give you an advantage away through something that will work in your favor, and very little is right now. We need to identify this, because SMB are just taking full mid control. They're running rampant. Izzy is untamable right now. He has been absolutely laying waste to not only kind of vent room, rope room, he's been taking mail room, he's been pushing control. We haven't really seen a full hit towards the sites necessarily yet. Maybe we'll see it now. First time we've seen that full A-lean coming out, so a different look here. Maybe they've gone, oh, we've got to address this mid-piece, and now they're going, we're going A. That's a different start for Benkai. Huge impact at the start. Taking down Izzy is perfect. Maybe the head of the snake here, but Divide right there beside him. Perfect shutdown from PRX. This is the side I was waiting to see, but now it's still Turco. This would have to be an A spot too. Can he get a res? Yes, he can. So he gets Izzy by his side. Will lose his life for it. So now Izzy.
Ahnap. Kimi dan dapat kemana?
Tahu meninggal.
Nice.
First time we're seeing a fully held site hit there.
Wah, AP-nya nggak diambil.
Mana gabut pisan anjir main Apex full jam.
12 jam tadi, Cok.
Lagi guys.
15 jam.
12.
Aduh.
Gabut
guys. Orang dari Johor nonton Netflix guys.
Supermassive plays actually potentially it leans in their favor now if they resort back to spreading in a default.
Mana main nondap
Enak. Again, because those are the sort of things they've got seemingly for free.
Sama sekolah.
Maksudnya sekarang mana lagi ngapain lah gitu.
Lagi nonton.
That's exactly what we'll see here. We'll send the boombot up. Look how deep he's able to get already. The first 15 seconds all the way into the other side of ropes. Yes, Benkai now has adjusted his utility. There's a turret up in heaven. A couple of spots. And you can see actually with the way his nano swarms are positioned on the minimap, you can see he's relying on that lockdown, which is why we're seeing this lean for PRX towards B. He's the fail-safe for A site here. Actually that one all the way in the corner just to allow for that pocket once the ultimate goes down.
Hanya dapat ini sih.
Cannot fall here, Lauren.
Sama supermassive place.
You could see them so willing to test this as well. They're actually
Balik lagi dong.
back on through.
Balik.
Kedengeran tapi dapet sih sama Siba, bro.
Nice. Siba. Aduh.
Nice. That's what I'm talking about.
GG. Forsaken. Dan Siba.
Perfect usage here from Divide. Just that smoke to create things, make it a little more awkward for them on the way in. Potentially creating kind of a one-way angle on the edge of that. And actually PRX
Let's go.
String together too. Still one round to make up though. Only ult burnt up was the Empress, so everything else available for PRX here. We'll see once again Benkai make this adjustment. This time around Divide over toward A main. Potentially to keep Pora honest, keep him in check. Izzy will be shut down at the start. That's in mid once again, so
Iya, Mit ketahuan, Cok. Gerak dikit ketahuan, Cok.
Massive plays to at least try and find some control in mid.
Ya, lihat kira di map Forsaken sama Astranya.
Wow,
Brave and Tor will
Oh,
gila.
gitu.
Shiba.
a third as well, but Russ good for the trade.
That's what I'm talking about.
Russ actually the last man standing, so he can do any further damage here.
Aku daripada ngeliatin dia, aku liatin mapnya ya. Tadi yang Astra sama
Cok,
Forsaken.
Shiba itu palanya nongol dikit doang. Langsung dar mati. Wah.
Catch those mid pushes, making it slightly more difficult. This is much better in my mind, but again, 4-4, 3 on the trot now. Finally coming back into this. The money's got to have been, yeah, it's been taken away from SMB. But they've got odds and ends they can still work with, but it's far from perfect. And it's the Pantheon Hypop cause.
Technical pause lagi.
How do you feel?
I don't really want it.
Technical
You
pause.
don't really have a choice, do we?
Lama
It's,
coy biasanya technical pause.
forced upon us.
Truly.
It's an awful ratio we have though.
And
It actually is disastrous. Well. Chat, how's it going? The madness truly does set in at one point. However, this is the perfect time for you guys at home if you are watching. Hashtag Valorant Masters. Let me know your expectations in this match. Because, I mean, if I feel like I asked at the start, everyone would have been like, well, SMB is going to win it. It's going to be easy after seeing map 2. Now I've seen a bit of a turnaround coming out. So, I want your thoughts. Get in touch. I will be looking at this, and hopefully it doesn't take too long. But Valorant Masters. Head over to Twitter, pop that in, and I'll have a little look through.
technical pause mulu, dude.
Fingers crossed. It ain't going to be a long one here. But again,
Yeah.
this is an elimination game. Keep that in mind. We make light of it slightly here because we are in the tech pause, but once we get back into game, this is tournament life on the line between these two, and this is a hard fought-for game.
It is, and at least here, initially in the first 8 rounds, things are... Well, we're kind of level tracking, right, on both sides of this. Yes, we've seen PRX kind of adjust things, but Supermassive Blaze, after that all-in A here, they're sort of like, okay, well, let's go back to what's working. And at that point, PRX have had 3 or 4 rounds where, you know, they've been able to get a grip on that. They've been able to really figure out what SMB are trying to achieve, who's the one to kind of shut down as part of that. And actually, everything else in that regard has played out in PRX's favor.
Okay. Just checking in with you guys at home. You're having a good time. It's nice to see you guys are still enjoying it. I appreciate that. They've asked how we are. They never ask how we are. You know, that's nice. We're doing all right. Yeah, we're having a good day. Yeah, it's not been bad. You doing all right?
I'm doing good. Well, other than map 2.
Map 2 was a bit of a... Ooh.
Did map 2 happen? Do we just forget it that it happened?
It's
the
like
best
a fever
of one.
dream.
It's
It's the best of one.
Not to take anything away from Haven's performance from PRX, but yeah, we'll treat this as the best of one. I think that's the best possible way to approach it. But it's interesting to, and
Aku
again,
pengen lihat si Soki, Cok.
Forsaken to not really be the
Kiri itu.
looked at in map 1
Bukan.
here.
Oh, bukan.
Again, with this double duelist, it kind of does lean back into that. Divide's had an insane series so far individually, and actually the only one really on Breeze, I'd say, that was trying to, I guess, turn the tides, slow things down, at least keep them in the game. They were never in the game on map 2, but
Map 2 was
Divide was the only one really to be having any impact on the side of PRX. So to see him actually on the jet here alongside Forsaken on the range, which is something we've seen previously from them, you've got to lean back towards, okay, we want to see them pop off. We want to see them just actually, not hard carry, but be the ones
have impact.
Yes, lead the charge.
Absolutely. I mean, and that's the thing. It's a blessing and a curse, where you get to be, you know, your jet player, you get to be your Reina player, but it does come with the burden of when it is time, you have to deliver. That's it. So I mean, it's just that ability to do so. And again, when it happens, it looks fantastic. When you're quiet, sadly, you know, you're the first to get praised, right? But you're the first to get blamed as well. So it's a tough position to be in. But both those seem to share, you know, the spotlight relatively well. More people asking how we are. Why do you guys care so much, huh? We're fine.
We're fine.
All right, we're
We've
fine.
been here before.
Can't you tell? But no, it's nice. Nice people are just, you know, very conversational. Having a good day.
It's always who is hype up, not how is hype.
No one's asked who you are. I'm sorry, that was really unnecessary.
That's it, yeah, earlier you were saying I'm not nice to you and crazy. Set the tone for the rest of the series.
Truly, yeah.
Today.
Oh, I was in the right Mardy mood. I have fixed it though, don't worry. Well.
I don't think that comment's anything to go by then, was it?
No, it's alright. No out of character, whatever. Guys, again, hashtag Valorant Masters, let us know how everything's going with you guys. Are you enjoying the matchup? Who do you think's got this? It's a very even scoreline right now, 4-4. Map 1, map 2, very different. And now we've actually seen PRX find a little bit of that spark that gave them that fire in map 1. This is your time to let us know. Look at that head-to-head. The coach head-to-head production, we love to see that. Look at that split screen. Woof.
And actually, I think in terms of the discussion we're having, Sheba actually having potentially a couple of rounds where he's relied upon.
Kenapa nih bang? Kalau lama nggak tahu. Technical pause.
So again, to drop a donut on map 2 and have a couple where he's.
Kayaknya ada masalah gitu di game.
He's put in a position, he's delivered that.
Lagi dibenerin. Nah, mulai juga.
People hoping that will pop off a little more. Maybe a little not disappointed after the second map, but wanting to see more of what made them good. I like you guys getting in touch with us, so thank you for that, for keeping us company during the tech pause. But everything is resolved. We can get back underway.
Oke, musuhnya ada yang iko, ada yang enggak. Ini seharusnya menang ya. Seharusnya.
Far from perfect. This was the off the back of the break of the money. Funds are now to devise like, nah, I'm gonna dip. Leave this one to you, Forsaken.
Some actually though, you can see the operator employed on the side of Divide.
Forsaken di sini.
Initially here, forced away from this.
Nice. Wah, dapat 2 dong. Mantap sekali.
Will get away, but Izzy closes the distance. Divide now with an operator.
Whoa.
You could do
Easy, what the fuck?
Izzy doesn't want to share the spotlight. This guy just got 2 massive kills in quick response to Forsaken, just finding mid control. But he did it with a sheriff. He's got himself a nice little op as a treat, as a
Gila,
reward. And now where do they want to go? Fancying maybe B. Izzy to try and fit on through. There we go. Back on it, but Pora's still lingering around. Still showing a bit of presence, which is slowing down these 2 players, hitting that rotation. So now Mindfreak is going to be
di revive.
Nice. Pora goes down, but he's trying to buy time.
Nice. Ooh.
The big boy, and he finds him on the way back to the site.
Let's go.
Find another to put on the board.
Again, this is the problem being when the early rounds played out in this way, comes back and once again, Benkai with this setup on A, and I've got to feel it now. It feels as if Supermassive Blaze are considering.
Easy jago banget serve-nya. Tuh kenapa sih? Gak ngerti dah.
Mindfreak good read on this situation, at least to retake B main control. At least at that point, I guess Poor is the only one that hasn't been visibly confirmed, and they look for that lurk, and right there, completely rips that apart before they can even get towards site. Supermassive Blaze actually going to call a timeout here again. Benkai has the setup now.
Out Supermassive Blaze.
In the buy phase, stacked up 4 towards Sushi and 4 over towards A main, so it doesn't look like it's going to be an all-in piece. But that's my concern now. If we see that adjustment and they consider kind of an execution towards A site, Benkai's been sitting on this. Whether or not Supermassive Blaze are also thinking the exact same thing as me, they're playing retake on A, don't lean into it, but they then have to address potentially a 2, 3, or 4.
Time out sekarang, please.
Which again,
mah bentar.
Kind of shaping how the round is going to play out.
Yep.
Dapat kudu nunggu kat malam.
All over the minimap towards A, you can just see them here as we come back into game. So they're trying to identify, I guess, exactly where Benkai's positioned, but he's been good at actually not showing himself at all the last few rounds. No. He was unnoted as of yet, other than I guess the turret on the window previous round, which obviously then they don't know it's Poor.
Keren banget itu, knife-nya ada refleksi di temboknya.
Jumping back in once again, this mid control at least showing this is a consistent look. Every single round we should get
di wall heaven.
To probably address this will be Forsaken, but with a newer angle, slightly deeper towards the back side of the vent.
Mereka terpaksa ke tunnel, mati sama Forsaken.
Wait. Brave wins the fight.
Okay.
And now that's problems galore as PRX has to respond. Defy, you're a brave boy, just gonna dip his head down there, but he's gonna know better.
Oh my god.
Aduh.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Up we go and around we go.
Okay, nggak dapat.
Ya.
Finds nothing. Maybe just giving them a bit of space to play towards the site.
Honestly, here again, still the fail-safe in position. Benkai still has this lockdown. And everybody on Supermassive Blaze except for Pora positioned towards site. The wall goes down in heaven, so they're going to try and maintain control here. I think the lockdown going to force them back, but not all the way out.
This is heaven controls. This could be hard
Susah ini
for
posisi
some
Shiba.
players here. Yeah, the lockdown's going to come in, but how much they get forced away? There's still
Shiba
a little
mati
bit
sih
of playable
ngepick.
area up there, and Turco's going to just thrive among it. 3 more
Susah
seconds and he
posisinya.
can get back to where he wants to be, but for now, they ain't that fussed about this Mind Freak moving around as well. Just gets absolutely eaten alive. Down to 1 divide. That op has found nothing, no value in this one yet. This has been the perfect adjust, perfect lean towards A.
Nice try.
And SMB, that is a gorgeous round to look back on. A Prime Gaming flawless 1-2.
Effectively dismantle everything that PRX had put in place for the last 3 rounds with that setup that I talked about time and time again. And actually in this round in particular, both Devi and Forsaken show on round. They show to Pora Spike. They're almost baiting. They're saying, look, it's the Rainer and the Jet here. You know, we're not playing retake on A. We're going to fight for it at lobby. SMB with the perfect response through ropes. Again, Forsaken getting caught slightly off guard. And actually also Devi burning the Blade Storm to try and get a desperation kill in response.
Straight up middle again, but Forsaken this time found. He does have Shiba by his side, but this does mean that A will be lighter than before. They have to be proactive, but the wall's going to be behind them. But this is... Forsaken's spray actually does find Izzy, but they're going to return this fight. They're turning it around slightly. Brave is happy to take this. Caught in the heels almost. Mind Freak pulling the attention, but Forsaken still stands. Now they are boxed in, but they are fighting their way out. Russ still claims Forsaken. This is problematic. This little pack that is just roaming in middle is so deadly. They had Pora making sure no one was going to be flanking around the backside on A. And he can now join the rest of them.
Wall about to crumble as well, so Pora will be able to regroup here. Still again, Mind Freak up here towards stairs and Devi with that operator towards B main. Still 2 to hold down the fort. Mind Freak actually was spot. The gravity were perfect actually for the first, but Turco in position to trade and get the res.
Oh, Devi!
Just before position gets really revealed, the intent fully known. And he needed it, but Turco denies it. What a shot from him. Massive impact this round as Benkai. We know he's been playing towards that A side, so his rotation's a little further away. Position. Now, fully, everyone knows where he's at. On the switch up, still isolates Russ. Goes for the follow down, get it. Brave is there. And SMB now back-to-back rounds on the board.
Masih ada uang kok, santai.
As well.
PRX masih ada uang.
Look at the economy for PRX here.
Yeah.
Maybe a little flaky to say the least to close out in the last round. See if they'll be able to get a full purchase at least. Again, the gravity well perfect, but straight away the response is there with both the kill and the res actually. Well, light armors, yeah, but the Bulldog, it's serviceable. I don't know. Looking at it, utility doesn't seem to be a problem. You look towards Shiba with all those sorts of things that may be overlooked, but a bit proactive here to at least take the orb on A here and maybe force Pora a little deeper into spawn. But first time we've seen PRX completely give up mid.
Yeah, we haven't seen this lean on this side as much to give
midnya dibiarin maju.
Interesting to see Forsaken there, and you're right, that mid fight is now slightly absent. And SMB be curious as to what's going on. The divide goes over towards that B site. Benkai could be in a spot up bottom. The divide isn't playing from the rafters. Catches Izzy on the push up. Now that's going to slow progress. SMB going to have to work out how to try and pry these players out, these slightly deeper positions. The flash doesn't land. The repeat's good for Divide, but he doesn't land the shot. That time, it's still not hitting. It's Mind Freak going. He's now fallen. He had so many bites of the cherry. Benkai!
Oh, Benkai!
From him. He's still
oh my god!
Turco still looming, lingering up top. Jump peak's great. He has done so much. The support should be here. Forsaken.
Choki, gila.
Shouldn't cause any more problems, but it's still Turco. That's one. Needs to find 2 more.
30 seconds left.
Benkai on pillar, he knows that. Shiba up top, maybe not so aware. And now Turco. Maybe considering that's to mask the sound of the drop. He should know.
Nice.
Benkai catching the final player. 6-6. We said, is it going to be map 1? Is it going to be like map 2? We have our answer.
Aduh, 6-6 cok.
Here, Hypok. But it is the halftime. So we're going to take a short second to dive down to the desk, who are going to give you a quick little update on their thoughts coming into this second half.
Thank you very much, Pansy and Hypog. 6-6 at the half. It is a nail biter, and this is exactly what we wanted to see as a decider.
Yeah, I really like what I see out of both teams right now. PRX responding back to that early run from SMB. I was getting a little scared, I'm not gonna lie, and then it looked like Divide finally came into form, and then we saw a little bit of good things from Forsaken on this Reyna, but I mean, I think he had more success earlier in the series, if I'm being honest. I just think all around, even Benkai came up big in that last round. Both teams are really firing on all cylinders.
I don't know exactly what to think of this map because I'm seeing, we were talking about it, we were watching it, and we've seen some mistakes that were made that were major. I feel like maybe too dependent on everything that is going on onto mid. I feel like also PRX took a long time to decide what was the right play to do about the situation onto mid. I really like the fact that, as we've seen, I feel like Turco had a great half. That was expected, but still, I think like this has to be a 6-6 because I haven't seen one team overtake the other one.
Yeah, that round, the retake round with the Killjoy ultimate and the Cosmic Divide, the lockdown combo, that was so awful to watch because they didn't have Heaven control, and the Cosmic Divide left an opening to Heaven, and they just kept peeking the Heaven angle, like totally unaware of it.
Literally had a lockdown that pushed everybody onto Heaven. Yeah, we were talking about it.
Well, it is 6-6, so who are you favoring going into the second half?
Oh, at this rate, I mean, I think PRX, they've looked way stronger on the attack side throughout this entire tournament so far. So if they have those set plays like we saw in Haven, I'm going to actually edge them to get 7 rounds on this attack half.
Ooh. And I am going to say they're not going to do that great on the attack because, as we say, they do not have the initiator. I don't know exactly how they plan to get into sight because if Turco's defending, we saw that 1v1 against Forsaken. He was just going for the blinds. He's not scared to you. He's just like playing aim lab a little bit. So I'm going to say this is going for SMB.
Ooh, well, let's get into the second half now with Pansy and Hypok and see what both of these teams can do.
All of this is up for grabs. Every single part of this is up for grabs. So, again, I don't know where to cut this because we've seen just rounds on the row now. 4 back-to-back rounds came in that first half, and it was like, wow, okay, there's the bounce back. But again, these teams seem so hard to split between each other here.
No, I think the interesting thing is now PRX have to lean into something we didn't see in map 1, which is kind of this all-out aggression, right? It was very composed, it was very in control, there was protocols in place to at least put themselves in a position to win rounds on Haven. Now, I feel as if actually, Des makes a great point. Composition-wise, they really, really have to force the issue, be decisive in these rounds. So we'll freeze for a moment, actually divide the furthest forward of anyone. Mind Freak on the other side of the map, actually just making sure there's no counter push on the side of SMB.
Wait. Hello?
Nothing noted on either side at this point. I think actually until that point there, poor spot in a jump peak.
That's about it. And you can't overly read into that. You can already see what PRX are doing. They're leaning the hell away from it. Maybe taking a little bit of mid control. Maybe considering that B site. You can see the lean coming in from Sky as well en route through CT. That's all going up and away we go. Great though, waiting, gets set up for 1. That's a good first pick up towards Forsaken. He is by his side, and PRX getting right back away from this.
The problem being though, Brave was close enough to hear this, and now Russ in mid, potential to flash left out here. Benkai actually going to play lurk here behind the turret, but there's still 2 people in position. It's Poor and Turco still on A site here to hold down, and another tripwire invested on A main.
Yeah, they didn't do enough to pull these rotations that deep or that long. They made a bit of contact, lost a player, and then started running. Or can just sit and wait for this. I'm not impressed by this at all. Mind Freak's gone. Benkai, your last one standing. Yeah, that wasn't good enough to shake SMB at all. They are happy enough. They instantly read that retreat. Not going to happen.
Again, you got to think about what happens there. So Poor is spotted, and that's the call to then hit B, with only 1 person outside who, I guess as soon as Mind Freak doesn't take any contact, they're kind of maybe guessing that the weaker side of the stack is towards B, but it's just so bizarre to watch that. The time to get from A main all the way into Garage, and then do you bank on SMB putting an extra body towards A just on the back of, I mean, call it contact if you want. It's just very, very weird to see. That's the sort of things where you think actually maybe it's coming down to a confidence issue, and at this point the pressure getting to PRX.
Pressure is a huge factor that we're probably not touching on enough. But for now, Izzy's work in middle is not over. Isolating Forsaken off the back of that Sky utility makes it a little bit easier. No, the pain shell is nasty too. Russ trying to close that gap. He wants to finish what he started, and he's going to, but not quite enough to take down Mind Freak. But Izzy's there on the cleanup squad. Brave finding Divide comfortably as Benkai now your last player standing. Can at least get the orb, and no farm towards Pora. Decent conversion, Pora alive, no threats.
Play.
Itulah ya.
Aduh,
Itulah ya.
See anything weird come out?
Aduh.
Initially, Pora comes across is going to invest a
Kalau Roni kalah, SMB 10 auto ay. Auto 10 6 cok.
PRX actually stacked towards
Oh
mid
my fucking
There's 4
bitch.
players on the side of Supermassive Blaze here. They're going to try and flash out of A main.
Come on, man.
Catch Benkai.
Let's see if Benkai can be
Masih ada
picked apart. He's
harapan.
gonna dip away towards sewer, and SMB are gonna overextend almost. They want to try and chase him away from that, but the response is quick. Straight up middle. PRX want to take that space and
Ini B-nya
response.
bisa dimasukin sih.
Now they're gonna really understand this now. Forsaken
Ini
has even
dipotong
considered
jalannya
well
dari
enough. They
sini.
look so away,
Nah.
but not. And this is the huge problem.
Oke,
It's
nice,
just
dapat
fallen to
2.
pieces down here. Forsaken could overextend on that if he wanted to. Decides against it, leaning towards that B side. Look how deep they're holding on this Russ. Cypher sitting slightly deeper, but Russ gonna play forward. There's 2 players here. He's gonna get 1.
Ya, oke.
Third evade,
2v2.
but already damage has been done. It's a 2v2 now.
A spike out from Pora again. The perfect distraction there to allow Russ to swing
Aduh,
out.
ada tripwire lagi.
Now PRX. Again, they can walk back.
Ya,
to Tripwire,
tripwire.
but
Ya,
deal
ketahuan.
with that, and that's going to be Turco called up here again. The slows will stop this initially. Time's still on the clock here, so they can run away from this. The turret will confirm
Oke,
actually.
balik lagi.
There's at least 1 here. I don't know if 2 audio cues were given away, but they've got free access to B site.
Balik lagi.
Shiba just gonna
Balik
set
lagi.
himself up there. Turco will be his first challenge if he wants to push deeper. I doubt he does. Just be on bodyguard duty for that spike to go down and try and sit towards the right.
Nice.
Works up the back of the utility with the KJ. That's lovely. Pora couldn't quite catch him in the back, so now there's an opening. Pora has to push forward.
Nice.
Again, they're gonna
Nice
shove the
banget,
ball on
nice
this round.
banget.
PRX right back in it. They're finding answers now.
Yo, bisa yo, PRX.
Cost as well. That was
Yo,
still a
bisa.
costly round.
Bisa ya.
3 kills on the side of Supermassive Blaze.
Ini bagus banget nih ngepotong jalan mereka nih. Tapi ini si Russ jauh banget sih.
Perfect for Russ. Unlucky not to find the third actually, but credit PRX for having bodies in the right place at the right time. Let's see here, it's Russ the only one with the SMB. Is he actually with the operator online here? But it's weird at the start of this round. Turco's still going to find Benkai.
It's like those dreams where you can't run, you're like stuck in place. Just quick sound below your feet. Couldn't make it out of there. Benkai gonna just have to force away, and now we look towards the others. What can these 4 do here? I like early aggression. It's a dangerous game to play though at 8-7, but it pays off.
Be reset to get a bit of a heal up in B heaven, but here Pora repositioned towards site actually. A bit of utility invested to help him out, but the spike meanwhile making its way back towards B. Forsaken trying to remove these seekers so they can't give any further information at least. But again, the timing's just disastrous here for PRX. 40 seconds left on the clock. SMB have already preemptively pulled away from A now.
You can see the expected timing with that flash. They're still a good 6-7 seconds behind that. It's
30 seconds left.
Very offset timing. And the double stack now. Pop flash is perfect. Turco is just sitting in motion. Couldn't ask for anything better. Nice to live, but they couldn't handle. Mind freak on the swing. Gonna take down 2.
Winnable.
Spot here. Tries to look towards
Aduh,
heaven.
susah lagi.
Main
freak low.
He has got Izzy coming through on CT.
Waktu udah 12 detik.
And Izzy still right there.
Nice
And
try.
he will not be moved. And it's now a big round for SMB. They're starting to get towards double digits here. Very close to.
Initially,
Ayolah, bolang.
rounds and PRX now forced, I guess, unless Devi has his Blade Storm. And the thing to note here with this
Ya, auto
Device has
10-7
actually not
dah.
had as big a game as he's had on the previous maps.
Berapa sih sekarang?
See if they're going to make a play for the orb here, try and get that
Ya,
blade storm
97 auto
available.
10-7 ini mah.
Again, SMB have
Jah.
again a really good read on what's going on. Again, the 2-for-1 trade, and then SMB come back. That's why we're seeing a couple of sheriffs invested. And actually pushing deep enough
Aduh,
here, but
bagus
they can't
banget.
even get this orb in garage.
Iya, teamworknya kerja banget ya.
Iya asli. Teamworknya bekerja banget. Amonya dihabisin buat wall, terus langsung di flash. Udah nggak bisa ngapa-ngapain itu PRX.
Divine Mind Freak. Trying to pick up
Yeah.
everything they can. The scraps left on the ground, but Brave was closing in the entire time. Devi, what a shot from you. 14 HP. You got anything else you can show us here? You got a minute to play with. Spike ain't that far. You got a rifle. Got his ult. Got a little bit of utility. 2 to find. 1 being Izzy, op in hand. Slowly leaning down middle. Let's pause for a second just to consider the timing. The cross is being watched by Pora. So Divine now having to just work his way around every angle.
Teamworknya kerja banget, Cok. Wallnya dihancurin, amonya habis otomatis langsung di flash. Udah nggak bisa ngapa-ngapain tuh PRX. PRX sampai SMB udah dap. Aduh, udah pasti PRX dap. Ini lagi, aduh.
No, again to stack up around the orb, anticipating actually the one thing that can bail them out of that eco round.
Teamworknya kerja banget.
Maybe not accounting for Mind Freak and the Sheriff, but not enough done. But now PRX will actually call a timeout, and this is the point here where PRX need to flip this back. We talked about 13-14 being in favor of Supermassive Blaze. They want to come back and effectively keep the economy ticking over. Here we have lots of ultimates available for PRX, and we haven't really seen them excel at sort of stringing together these choreographed hits. And again, you look towards things like the lockdown and the usage of it on defense here. Almost playing into
Sans
being a
comeback
weight on
masih
their
ada harapan
shoulders,
sih, bisa sih.
kind of forcing them to play a
Aduh,
certain way here.
susah. Tuh nggak jelas anak.
If they fancy it, but again, it's just not been the look that's that's what we look towards PRX for, right? Yes, on Haven we did see a little better control and composure, but that was more about just finding reads here. Don't have the tools necessary to do that.
And I think I'm glad the desk kind of highlighted it when we first came into this, right? It's kind of a callback to that. We are seeing some of those theorized problems starting to show, but it's still a fine margin. We don't have a completely one-sided game. 10-7 is actually a very solid game between these two. I'm more than happy to see them still keeping up here. But look at the run of rounds. That's what scares me, Hypoc. That's the bit that stands out to me now, is that it may look close, but what's happened in this half so far has been still quite one-sided.
So again, Divine and Forsaken be the ones to drift into mid.
Ini misalnya kalau kalah aja PRX di round ini tuh udah 12-7 gitu pasti. Auto 12-7.
Again, don't expect SMB to fight for it. Once again, Pora has this spy cam above Hell. So now if this split comes
Kalau di round ini roundnya penting banget nih buat PRX.
and that's huge for PRX.
The impact it has is now they can go.
Spy cam again.
Bloomin' spy cam. They never get away with anything. Russ just on that edge. Quick pop flash. Didn't know a player, but Forsaken kind of gave away his positioning in the end. But this is a lovely site take. It's worked out perfectly. Now they need to hold a retake. Divine can have a nasty little position. Playing out this cubby here. Let's see if he can make something.
Davai bisa dengar suara sih.
He's gonna have to hear the audio cues because once they're through, they're in someone else's problem. But it's
nice.
Shut down. 4 players back to back fall for SMB, and they can't make it back in. Russ is locked out by so much, and what a way to turn it around for PRX. They've perfectly crafted something there, maybe just at the back of that ult, however they wanted to play it out. Maybe that was the pause leading, and we just want a round on the board, a fail-safe plan, and that might have been it.
Nice.
Really well coordinated. Again, getting 2 players into male just to be there at the edge of that lockdown. Really well put in motion there. And Izzy, I mean, completely Unable to do anything. I mean,
10-8, oke. Nice
what's
nice
the
banget.
counter to that? He swings out mid with an operator. There we go. Actually, it's always nice when people have to run through the cosmic divide, isn't it?
Makes you feel good.
Everyone on PRX in position to punish.
Oh, don't show me dinner. Who's doing? Is it? If that's you, Prius, I'm done with you. I'm done.
Who was Yeti in charge of cinematics?
I don't like
Does
blaming
count as a
Yeti. He's a sweet man.
cinematic?
Nah, ini
Saying Prius isn't.
kalau PRX menang auto
Don't
10-10 nih.
That's all I'm saying. Come back in though.
Come on.
Look at the money down.
Build the momentum
We've got
PRX.
3 Spectres coming out. That's okay. Turco and Izzy are still okay for the purchase, but Brave no way. That's one he can't make more of. I thought he could have just sprayed and prayed on that, but he couldn't. And now they're going to flood on through. You can see SMB want to just close that gap, try and get as close as possible. PRX like, oh, whoa. That's a lot of you. We're going to just chill out for a second.
Again, the timing's not there though. They can't capitalize on this pressure on the other side of the map, and also Pora's utility still in place to just confirm that that's not the case. He will actually head back towards A, but PRX, they wait behind it, anticipating the res. Potentially, is he good for 2
shit.
headshots? So, Forsaken finally responds, but a man advantage firmly in place for SMB, and Russ will find both remaining kills. SMB now 11-8. Again, that round timeline becomes more and more awkward in terms of the purchase here. Especially with that investment in terms of the ultimates on the side of PRX. Actually, yeah, Devi obviously can ride through the Blade Storm here. It's going to be
Udah.
really tricky.
Ini kalau kalah
So he does
PRX
actually have the res as well.
auto
Forsaken one on
beneran
the
kalah.
Emperor, so potential to turn this one
Next
around
run
if
harus
find
Iko.
a favorable opening duel, but
Udah
definitely haven't
12-8.
been able to achieve that just yet.
Kalah deh.
A comfortable opening duel.
Yes, well, I think that's a fair assessment.
Ini nggak boleh kalah sih round ini sih di
Hella
PRX.
early. Izzy's just going to follow
Untuk
them down.
PRX nggak boleh kalah sih.
Divine going to be noted. Now, what does Izzy do with this? Stay posted up, maybe? I don't know. Falls away. Maybe looking for the read. I don't think he got any of the audio cues here. As Divine now trying to play back towards his space, seemingly aware of the possibility of each other here. Touch of damage towards Divine, but he's going to actually kind of close that gap real quick, trying to bounce off the back of it, but he can't do it. Izzy does well to stay alive, but expects more, and there isn't. They're all over towards B main, and oh my word, if he reads this right, yeah, you can see them scattering, running out of there, because they do not want to be near each other right now.
Damage done. PRX a tricky res to achieve, but
Nice.
actually we're finding Brave here. Might pull Izzy out of position. They should be able to just hit straight towards default here. Izzy in no position
Oh,
to matter other than the
nice.
opening being found, but
Nice banget
now the
PRX.
last man standing, and PRX weather the storm right now.
30 seconds left. Spike
For them
planted.
survive. Oh, I don't know if Mind Freak actually got spotted there, but he just got into the corner.
Nice banget.
Or retrieve the rifle upgrade and try and hold on to this one. Have to see now. Again, perfect response. I think actually with that purchase, whether or not that was kind of a safety play in terms of being able to then reinvest into the next, it's always tricky when it's this 2-1, 2-1 back and forth in terms of the timeline. I think actually SMB should be in a position where they can potentially force something in, but it's definitely not going to be a full purchase. And now when it's only 2 rounds, that's when you really want to be careful about what you're investing into these rounds.
Yep. It creeps up on you. It really does. So we'll have to wait and see what they go for this round. I'm actually kind of interested to see how they kind of approach the way of kind of spreading the wealth, I guess. They seem to be able to fashion a decent enough purchase. Yeah, I mean,
all in on this one.
I think there was light armor I saw on one of them, but otherwise it's rifles.
Like I said, it was almost a buffer play to obviously make sure that this purchase for the next was comfortable. But
Okay.
PRX win this. They're
Yeah.
at double digits. And two massive bays have nothing left.
And look at these back and forth rounds. Okay, so SMB are going to get proactive. They're going to post up Turco. It's maybe the fourth.
SMB force boy.
Out from PRX. They're going for a heavy alien. And
Belum
there's very
tidur,
few
Play.
players
Belum,
here.
Jar.
Damage done, actually, a lot of damage
Pengen
done.
nonton ini dulu, Jar.
It's worse for wear. Pora, though, going to play
Turnamen.
passive, trying to catch him on the cross. He was never here to fight this site, but just stay close enough to make post plants uncomfortable. They only had him here. That was it. So actually a great read from PRX to get the spike down, get into this post plant. Wait, Poor's going ahead. Whoa, no way. Poor just
Nice.
walks out. Forsaken even a little baffled, but he gets himself healed up. A little bit of better position, pops the ult and gets ready to go.
Yo.
She's got this wall up to slow down towards screen.
They funneled him, man. This is...
They have to come through this choke point. Either that or heaven window.
And it looks like now's the time. Straight on through. Izzy's the first one to put his life on the line. Mindfreak catches him mid-air, drags him down, and they're all just holding. Benkai's got...
Buset, tiga-tiganya di elbow.
He's
Nge-stuck.
got crossfires. He's got support, but he's only got one. Trades come in. It's
1v2, 1v2.
Now Brave is your last one alive.
Nice.
Mindfreak stops him.
Let's go.
Back into it.
SMB nggak ada duit.
Letting this game go.
SMB nggak ada duit.
They wanted to throw everything at that round as well.
Oof.
Brave trying to create a pocket of safety to get that defuse going, but
11-11 sih ini.
I gotta say, at that point, it's almost desperation. Great setup here in terms of actually SMB play into it perfectly by putting this wall up. They walk right into the double nano swarm setup that Benkai has, and I mean, PRX are able to just kill so much time in that post mark. Things like the wall up on ramp again, making sure that nobody can come over. There's nothing to really stop them from coming in there, but
Money's gone. High pop.
this is exactly what we talked about here. That's all in with the ultimate investment as well.
Oh, look at what's left.
Oh iya. SMB nggak punya apa-apa loh. Ulti nggak ada.
Mindfreak not far off, Benkai not far off, and this round should be
Bisa banget ini menang.
a gifter. Now, not saying it too early because we've seen Russ and some other people do some mad shots.
Yeah.
And Izzy finding Forsaken. Hypark,
Forsaken.
Spike's going through soon, trying to
Forsaken.
keep it safe. Burying its passage towards A, but there's players in between. This is not
Okay.
safe just yet. Brought back to level pegging at least at this 3-3. Benkai spots one deep towards CT. Has to fall back from this. Do not overextend. Do not let that rifle fall at this point. Play safe. Get that spike on site. You can see the patience being shown right now. Mindfreak can't make this cross yet.
Brave will be spotted on the way. Just
Sumpah,
inside.
greget banget cowok nontonnya.
I think he has, yeah. He's got across, but the spike making his way towards B now. I think actually information's been relayed. Brave now, Brave now considering this possibility.
Oh, Sheba's gonna walk right into the 3-5.
Oh my god, dapat rifle dong. Siras dapat rifle.
Mindfreak are sweating. This is panic stations everywhere. Benkai feels surrounded because he
Oh.
is. Russ has got him. There is no way SMB are gonna do it like this. Mindfreak now in a 1v3. They've got rifles. They're geared up. They're ready to go.
SMB
This is the
Iko
first
menang loh.
challenge.
What the fuck?
Mindfreak passes it. He needs
Dua-duanya ada
more.
rifle
The
lagi.
fight goes up. He has to put everything into this. He does not.
Can he slip into spawn? No way.
This is it.
Oh my god.
There's just a jump scare coming through that.
Aduh, 12-10.
How is that the round you just won?
What a way to turn things around. I can't believe that it's that
Match
one.
point,
That
match
SMB are
point.
able to force through.
Thrifty loh mereka.
They had nothing left, Lauren. Absolutely nothing.
Bits and pieces.
Mereka padahal nggak ada ulti, nggak ada senjata. Tapi bisa-bisa aja menang.
Again, they're able to punish this res here.
Tadi gue bingung gak, 4 second
Comes through.
diem cok.
Wow.
Pas ada nade.
What a way to turn this around again, just at the final post. And again, Mindfreak, like I said, he creates a little pocket.
Oh
The
my
potential's
god.
there for him to actually get in. Maybe even then throw a gravity well onto the spike or something.
Tournament life now on the line. SMB might have given themselves just that lifeline needed, but Benkai's
Nice.
still fighting. He finds Russ and they're not giving up just yet. They fashioned together the best buy they can. It's got light armor. It's got guardians. It ain't pretty, but it's the best they can do. Brave.
What the fuck?
Brave! It's just perfect. He wants this done. He wants
Spray
to move on from
kontrolnya.
As now
Transfernya,
Benkai
cok.
and Shiba facing
Rapi
down is
banget,
middle. Paint shell comes in, there's a
sumpah.
swing on the right side. There it is, Brave again. That's 3
Oh
now.
my god.
As Benkai and Shiba, it's all on you two.
Spray transfernya gila sih.
They have to find something
Wah,
they can act upon here. Actually, all 3 members of Supermassive Blaze
2v3.
committed towards B site.
But Brave,
Walking right into
Brave, it's an ace to close it out to keep SMB alive. Brave goes above and beyond for the.
Aduh, nice try, nice try.
And I cannot believe the end to that game.
Nice try,
Absolute
PRX.
madness. PRX came out on map 1 and showed me
Oh my
justifying
god.
why they're here, why they're able to put up such a fight against Vision Strike.
Nice try, nice try. Aduh, nice try banget.
Heartbreak. But SMB, I gotta say, a win out in a series that I didn't see even going the distance here. with a comfortable
GG
map
sih
two
emang Supermassive
force
Blaze.
it here to split.
Jago
And I
sih.
gotta be, they were in control of most of that. Again, PRX
Wah,
able to
PRX
make it difficult along the
tereliminasi
way,
dong.
but I felt as if Supermassive Blaze
Nice try,
really,
nice try.
really were in control here.
I think
Nice try.
eventually it took some time.
Nice
but
try.
PRX ability
Okay.
is now just they are
Shit,
such a good
man.
team. To push what is known as the super team of Turkey.
Wow.
I don't think you can look at SMB, maybe you're not as familiar with the region, be like, oh, they're okay, I guess. No, these are meant to be the super team, right? They picked the best players, put them in a roster, and they had a shaky start.
Oke dah, gua udahan dulu, udah ngantuk juga sih. Ya, PRX nice try lah. Ya, yang penting ada gitu orang Indo yang masuk Berlin. Ya udah bangga sih segitu juga. Tapi kalah ya udah sih. Cuman ya nice try buat PRX. Thank you very much semuanya sudah nonton stream kali ini. Thank you udah nobar bareng gua dari tadi. Oh my god, 3 map loh. Capek banget sumpah. 2,5 jam lah ya. Thank you semuanya. See you next stream. Peace out and goodbye.